exclusive supplier of U-Sports Championship rings. Le fournisseur exclusif des bagues de championnat U-Sport. Fox 40, celebrating a decade of the Fox 40 U-Sports Coach of the Year program. Fier partenaire des prix de l'entraîneur de l'année U-Sport depuis 10 ans. By Veriburn, proud medical supplier to university sports since 1979. Fier partenaire du sport universitaire depuis 1979. The Government of Canada, le gouvernement du Canada. And by Cavendish Farms. Enjoy the game day taste at home with Cavendish Farms. Profitez des saveurs de jour de match chez vous avec les frites Les Fermes Cavendish.
Welcome to the 2023 University Cup on CBC. I'm Bull Ford, joined alongside with Norman Beck as we get set to bring you this U-Sports quarterfinal matchup between the number 2 UQTR Patriot and the number 7 St. Mary's Huskies. Norman, the day is finally here where Charlottetown gets to host this national championship, and we're going to get it kicked off here with a great matchup. The UQTR Patriot come in as the number 2 seed, the OUA champions, the defending U-Cup champions, and they got a boister-packed lineup of skill and talent backed up by the goaltending of Alexis Gravel.
Well, Bo, this is, you talk about, you and I have been waiting for this day since 2019 when it was first announced that UPI was going to be the host team for this tournament. You can just see the excitement building in the building. You can see the excitement building in the community for the last little while. We got a huge crowd coming in here today. We're going to be in excess of 3,000 people. We got 2 of the top teams right now, I would say, in the country. We got a battle-tested UQTR team, defending national champ. On the other side of that, they're looking at the St. Mary's Huskies, who might be one of the best teams in Canada since the end of November. This is shaping up to be a tremendous matchup.
For those St. Mary's Huskies, of course, you touched on it, 12-2-1 since the end of November. They come in here as the AUS consolation second-place finish to UNB. They got a team that wins by committee.
Well, and that's what Tyler Noggle prides himself on that team. You know, they always talk about different guys who wear the cape all the time, and you know, you see they making their way here to the tournament. They're facing in the second seed here, but you know, they're unfazed. They're sitting there. They're a confident group. They're looking at it and saying, we belong here. We're the team that's going to belong. You look at all these matchups. Concordia against UNB, going to be an interesting story. Windsor's going to be an interesting story against the University of Alberta. And of course, the marquee matchup going to be on Friday night against UPEI in Calgary. That's going to be crazy. Now, St. Paddy's Day in Charlottetown, UPI, the home team, going to be unreal.
Yeah, it's a good way to kick it off as we figure out who will play in that first semifinal matchup here this afternoon that will play on Saturday afternoon here at the Eastlink Center. The UQTR Patriots and the St. Mary's Huskies have entered the ice here for period number 1. There's a good look at Jeremy Helvig, but this is going to set up. The building is starting to fill up. A pile of junior high, high school, and elementary school kids in the building here today, too.
37 buses, Bo, are going to be filling the Eastlink Center parking lot here this morning. It'll be a logistical nightmare for the parking attendants out there trying to get them all in, but even in the last 10, 15 minutes, we've just seen all the students coming in, which is great to see. I mean, talk about exposure to a high-quality product for these young people coming in. You know, you and I we're well-versed in the quality of product that U-Sport hockey is. This is a great opportunity to showcase it to the next generation.
We'll throw it over to the public address announcer to set things up for the St. Mary's Huskies and the UQTR Patriot.
The 7th player for UQTR from the North River Flames U11, please welcome Isabelle McKay.
La 7e joueuse en tête de l'équipe de l'Université de Québec à Trois-Rivières. Encore de North River, division -11, Isabelle McKay.
We would like to acknowledge that the University of Prince Edward Island is located in Ebequid, on the traditional unceded territory of the Mi'kmaq people.
Nous reconnaissons le fait que l'Université de l'île du Prince-Édouard est située à Epiquik, la terre ancestrale des Mi'kmaq, et nous les respectons en tant que peuple autochtone.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, please direct your attention to center ice for our ceremonial puck drop.
Mesdames et messieurs, en ce moment, s'il vous plaît, dirigez votre attention vers le centre de la glace pour notre mise en jeu cérémoniale.
Representing 2023 U Cup sponsor and host of U Sports, the U Sports CEO, please welcome Pierre Arsenault.
Représentant U Sport, veuillez accueillir Pierre Arsenault, officiel exécutif de U Sport.
At this time, we'd ask captains from both St. Mary's and UQTR to please come to center ice for today's ceremonial puck drop.
Les capitaines pourraient-ils rejoindre au centre de la glace, s'il vous plaît? Merci de nous avoir accompagnés, Pierre. Bon jeu. Et maintenant, veuillez vous lever pour l'interprétation de notre hymne national chanté par l'athlète étudiant de rugby féminin de UPEI, Tessa Hood.
And now, would everyone please stand for the singing of our national anthem by UPEI women's rugby student athlete Tessa Hood.
Oh, Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love in all of us command. Garde ton bras et porte l'épée, il s'est porté la croix. Ton histoire est une épopée des plus brillants exploits. God keep our land glorious and free. Oh, Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Oh, Canada, we stand on guard for thee.
Thank you, Tessa and Pierre.
Welcome back inside the Eastlink Center for this first quarterfinal matchup. Here's the starting goaltender for the St. Mary's Huskies, the former fifth-round pick of the Carolina Hurricanes, Jeremy Helvig, wrestled the net away from Matt Welsh in late November, and he's been on an absolute tear for the Huskies in goal. At the other end of the ice is the reigning 21-22 U-Cup MVP, the former Memorial Cup outstanding goaltender, Alexis Gravel, the second-team OUA All-Star from the Eastern Conference this year, will get the nod in net for the Patriot.
Well, if you're looking for a matchup, marquee matchup in goaltenders, Bo, I don't know if you could put it any.
I think we're going to see it all weekend long, really.
Well, all the nominees in for the goaltender year. I mean, Samuel Richard, how many times I call his name at the awards banquet last night. So settle in, folks. This is going to be a great one. Exciting times.
Official Tanner Duran at center ice here. The island native gets to kick things off at the U Sport U Cup. It'll be Coxhead in to take the opening face-off against Lausanne, and we are underway in Charlottetown. The National Championship for men's hockey at the U Sport is underway, and St. Mary's will control the opening face-off and play it down in Lepage. Plays it there for the Patriot. It's Ralph Hurt in the forecheck as it's moved over to Justin Bergeron. Bergeron gets it out through the neutral zone. The captain, Levine, will chip that one in. Bellamy back there for the Huskies turns that puck over. It started in behind the goal by Levine. Work to the near side half wall there, and Coxhead will swoop in and try and gets that back to Busby. It'll come to Lepage at the point. Crosses one over to Bergeron. Played down in behind the goal. Levine again. He's knocked off the puck by Busby, and Bellamy plays one right into the center ice area. Bergeron will pick it off and play one rink wide. It'll bounce off the dasher board, and it's played back in behind the goal by Ralph. Bellamy pressured there by L'Italien. He'll come out to the top of the circle and circle one back in behind the goal. Bellamy pushes it to the half wall boards, and it's able to be chipped out there by the Huskies. Cote will control it just inside his own blue line, turns and fires. Bellamy will pick it off and play it over to Getson. Getson will play it in far near side corner boards, cross ice, and it's chipped back out. Here's Dunkley at the blue line. He had his stick lifted there, and we'll get our first whistle of the hockey game with 18:42 left to go in the first period.
Good start to the game there, Bo. We look at UQTR, got established early with their pace of play. They had the Huskies hemmed in their own zone pretty good, as both Jackson Bellamy and Dennis Busby were forced to be on the defensive a little bit. The Patriots playing like we're looking at two teams here, Bo, that are both battle tested here in their playoffs this year. And that's going to be another matchup that we're going to be looking at as two teams who are ready to play.
Here's Felix Lafrance with the first shot of the hockey game, kicked aside by Helvig and sent down the length of the ice. So one of the things that we are accustomed to here in the AUS is puck over glass is not a penalty at this event, as we get the first look at a shot of the hockey game.
Well, thank goodness it isn't. But there you go. We're seeing the Lafrance brothers, who were going to be two significant pieces here for UQTR in this whole tournament. Of course, Simon, the player of the year for U Sport, his younger brother Felix coming in. And, that's a dynamic duo that's going to be in place there for the Marc-Etienne Hubert coached Patriot.
Puck played in by Pellerin, and Helvig gets a stick on it. Dunn will rim it around to King. King through the middle of the ice. Here's Getson. Gets it aloft, one across, and Dunkley will knock it down and fire one in. Gravel will stick that off the far side. There's Getson again in the forecheck. He'll play it back into the zone. It's picked up by Noel. Noel plays to the near side boards, and there's Simon Lafrance. Lafrance back across, and there's a good body check there inside the zone by Joel Bishop. Bishop will pick that puck up just on the opposite side of icing.
Well, there you see Joel Bishop doing what Joel Bishop does well, Bo. You talk about an energy guy, former Memorial Cup experience with Halifax Mooseheads. That's the sort of thing when you talk about Tyler Nagel with his depth of talent. He has guys that knows their role. They know what they have to do to bring something to the team, and that's something that Joel Bishop, he's a guy that's been really picked his game up offensively here the last little while as well, too. He's come to life a little bit in the playoffs. 5 points in 7 games, so a key player here for the Huskies in the playoff run.
Battle ensues in the half wall boards. King watches on there as Freynet battles it. It comes loose to King. King can't get a shot away. It'll trickle down into the corner boards. Hampton tries to play it there. It's bounced away by the Patriot. Martin will start it out. He'll work it over to Mio Ouellette. Plays it down into the corner. A battle with Walter Flower. Centered in front, and a good opportunity there for Freynet as Helvig deep in the crease will hold on and take the whistle.
Well, the good thing there, they're coming out. The puck popped loose there. It was a bit of an inopportune bounce. Walter Flower went back to get it. Justin McPherson as well, too. Quick exchange out front. Jeremy Martin got the stick. Not much of an angle there for Connor Freynet to get it in, but the big Helvig doing his thing once again, getting that good stop early on. It's good to get the touches in early in the game.
There's a blast from Noel from the point that goes wide in the glove side. A second attempt by Lepage is turned back by St. Mary's into the neutral zone. Chipped ahead, Garneau will tip it in. Helvig will come out from behind the net and rim one on around. Garneau seals up along the wall. He'll play it back down low. A centering feed that was intended for Lauzon will roll to the far side corner. Bellamy working there against Lauzon as the Huskies are able to glove that one back into the neutral zone. Busby gets it back on his stick inside his own blue line. He tries to stretch one out, and Cedric Ralph will tip that one in and go after David Noel. Ralph pinning up Noel in behind the goal of Gravel. It's worked loose. Here's Samuel Latalien. He'll play it near side boards to Louis-Philippe Cote. Cote will fire one. That one high over the glove side of Helvig. It'll come to Dunkley just inside the blue line. He's pickpocketed there. It'll come back to Connor Olsen. Olsen tries a clearing attempt, picked off by Cote. Cote will drift one down in behind the goal, and Dawson Theed will skate into it, get it across to Keith Getson. Getson gets the feet moving, pushes that puck up to Nathan Dunkley. Dunkley over the blue line, off to Olsen. He'll fire one, and Gravel will take it into the mid, his first save of the hockey game.
Well, good pace here going in by both teams here, Bo. Good exchanges going on. Not a lot to really tell you. Is Marc-Etienne Hubert, you look at him going in with the defending national champ. He's had a stellar record here ever since his arrival at the UQTR lineup. 6 years into this slide, he's got a heck of a program going on for this Quebec-based program.
Yeah, I talked about it last year, of course, the national champions, but they lost some key players, but they've been able to add by committee and continue to keep on this run.
Well, one thing that Marc-Etienne did say is that they have a standard of excellence for recruiting players, and he feels really good about the recruiting class that he got this year. And you look at the contribution of a guy like Samuel L'Italien, just as an example, Félix Lafrance coming in. The recruitment has been good here for the Patriots.
Johnson will fire one in, and it'll be stopped away by Gravel. St. Mary's now, they've been on the attack. Here's Johnson trying to streak out from behind the goal. He'll lose it, and coming in from the blue line, McPherson with a good read there, able to step up, gets and keeps it in at the blue line. He'll float one in, tipped in front, Dunkley knocked it down with the stick, and quickly Tanner Duran will wave that one off for high sticking.
I think there's going to be a little discussion here in this one, Bo. Tanner Duran going over and talking about it with Mike Langan. Not sure whether it was there or not. Tanner was definitive right off the hop.
He's going to go upstairs here.
He didn't waste any time going in it. And Earl Campbell's going to get rushed into duty over here. And, the good thing is they're going to have the time here to make sure they get it right. And that's the important part. And if you look at it, we can't really see anything right there. We might get it from a different angle down below.
I'll tell you what, though, Norm, the big thing there is I'm going to guess that Tyler Nogler, one of his messages, pucks on net, gets and just kept that in at the blue line, fired it in, and kind of created an opportunity. We'll get another look at it here.
Well, that's sort of the workmanlike effort of guys like the Keith Getsons that they do it. And, there it is, just shot in front. Ooh, man, that's close. You know what, Bo? What's the criteria?
That's a tough decision to kick off this U-Sport Championship. I know that.
I don't know myself. I'm not really sure. And what's the criteria? Is it the top of the net? Is it the shoulders? Tanner. I mean, I can see why he called it. I think the stick. If you look at it, Dunkley has the stick up. There it is. Getson takes the wrist shot. It's on an angle, right? Look at the stick. It's on an angle, but is it above the shoulders or is it above the net? I don't think it's either one.
I tell you what, it's a 50-50 call for the St. Mary's Huskies. If this goal stands, it's a huge first goal here 5 minutes into the first period, that's for sure.
Well, and the other part about it, too, is the call on the ice was no goal, right? So it does have to be overturned with definitive evidence. And if you're looking at it in that particular situation, I don't think there's anything conclusive.
We're going to get a good goal. Oh! There you go. Nathan Dunkley gets the party started for the St. Mary's Huskies on a redirected puck in front, on a puck put on net by Keith Getson. Here's a look to put the St. Mary's Huskies up 1-0 here.
Well, there you go. Get pucks toward the net. Good things happen. Man, that was so close. Tough save there for Alexi Gravel, too. Dunkley did a great job. That's a fluttering puck going through there, too, Bo. That wasn't easy to track in anyone's part, either in Dunkley getting the stick on it or Alexi Gravel, for his part, trying to get it down in between the wickets.
A little bit of gamesmanship here off the face-off is Simon Lafrance and Joel Bishop. We've seen him engage himself early in this hockey game with a big body check on David Noel just inside the Patriot blue line. Here's Tessier. He'll drop one back. Voivan will play it off the boards, and McPherson will knock that one down and play across ice over to Flower. Flower turns the boots up ice, plays one to King. King will chip it in, and Hampton drops one back to King. Bishop will turn and fire. That one blockered away there by Gravel. Good entry from the Huskies there. All three guys getting involved to get that puck into the zone. Out to the neutral zone. The Patriot try and extend it. Hampton will pick it up off the stick, and that one will go up and out of play. So, Norm, we talked about it. A big goal for Tyler Nogler and his team, and these boys got to be excited. I know I talked to Keith Getson last night about the crowd that was going to be in place, and they've been able to elevate their play here after UQTR kind of took it in the first part of the period.
Well, you talk about evoking warm memories. A guy like Keith Getson who had so many memorable occasions here with the Charlottetown Islanders. Here he is getting involved right again. We know if there's a big-time player, 16 Red is going to be involved in being that big-time player for the SNU Huskies. But Tyler Noggle, this plays into their hands, Bo. They're a collective effort. They can get the lead, and that they can hold on to it. It plays well into their structure.
Busby off the St. Mary's face-off win will play it in. Da Fonseca will kick it up, and Berube will skate into it. He's just inside the blue line. He'll play it down and in. There's Da Fonseca to Van Loon in behind the goal. Van Loon with Bellamy up top. He'll skate and be knocked down, and here's an opportunity back the other way. In on Helvig, good shot and a save made. Garneau was able to streak in there.
Well, great effort by Dennis Busby to get back too. He got the stick on the inside, forced Garneau to make a difficult shot quicker than he may have wanted to, but great effort in Dennis Busby's part to get back and make that hard on the Patriot player.
Here's Busby leading the charge from the back end. He's able to play it in. Bergeron will handle it for the Patriot. Bergeron to Lepage. Lepage now will play that one off, and it gets as far as the line. Boucher knocked down, and he'll chip it forward, and again he'll take a run at Andrew Coxhead. Ralph gets it off to Coxhead. Coxhead just inside the blue line. He'll fire one off a stick. Ralph will pick it up, play it over to Coxhead. Coxhead back to the blue line. It's played back and in, and Dawson Theed will pick it up, leave it for Cedric Ralph. Theed picks it back out of the corner. Skates it up high, cycles it down to Ralph. Ralph works there with L'Italien. L'Italien will leave it off for Noel tries to play it off to L'Italien. He's stick lifted. Coxhead back to Theed. Dawson Theed to the center ice. Dunn will fire from the point, and that one into the UQTR chest of Alexei Gravel.
UQTR probably had their best chance of the period here, Bo. Bit of a turnover. Liam Van Leeuwen blew a sneaker here just inside the blue line. Olivier Garneau, Johnny on the spot, drove hard in. Look at Dennis Busby. Does the right thing, gets the stick lift on it. Makes that difficult, forces the angle, pushes them to the uncomfortable side, buys a little bit more time for Jeremy Helvig to get square. Big stop there for the big St. Mary's netminder.
There's Keith gets it. Off the face-off, Helvig will handle it. He's only faced 3 in this hockey game. He's made 3 grade A saves in the net for the Huskies. Stretched out to Brady Johnson. Johnson got a stick on it, but it's turned back quickly. Inside the line, Dunkley will pick up a loose puck and dish it off. Here's Getson from Johnson. That'll be offside. The best of U Sports women's hockey action is happening at the 2023 U Sports Women's Hockey Championship in Montreal. Catch all the action on cbcsports.ca and CBC Gem.
And the pace of play has been good in this game, Bo. Right off the hop. You look at this tournament, it's effectively 8 game sevens, right? And we're seeing that game 7 speed, that game 7 intensity wrapped up in this one early on. Setting up for a great afternoon of hockey here at the Eastlink Center.
Setting up for a great weekend. There's a lot of things happening. I know we have the hot stove here in between the afternoon game and the evening game. Of course, tomorrow night with the Panthers in action. It's just setting up to be one of those weekends that'll be unforgivable here in the birthplace of Confederation.
The package is outstanding, Bo, and we got to give huge props to the organizing committee, Bruce Donaldson, everyone else running here. Trent Burden, hopped on, did a lot of work here to get things going. And if you're coming here and you got to seize a weekend package, you've got a high entertainment value coming in. And the thing is, the energy is just going to keep building as the weekend goes on.
Bergeron to Boyvan. Boyvan up to Martin. Martin chips that one into the center ice area. Levine is closed off, and Olsen will play it back under the stick of Bishop, and the Patriots are able to counter that one in the neutral zone. Chipped in by Levine. It's played there by Olsen. Tries to spin away. Joel Bishop will skate in and help out. He'll come from behind the goal. Had his stick lifted, but carries on forward. Bishop over to Coxhead with Theed in the middle. Olsen driving the goal, and Coxhead tried to feather that one across, but Gravel takes it into the glove.
You look at a guy here like Alexei Gravel, there's a guy that has, last year in the finals, he faced 66 shots. in that final game against Alberta. You know, I mentioned the game going into overtime. You talk about a guy who, you know, had high expectations of him coming back from his junior career, but he certainly found his game here again at this university level. Been a tremendous asset here for the Patriots team.
Face off down to the left of Gravel. Coxhead will exit and Dawson Teed will come in to take that face-off. An offensive zone face-off here for the Huskies. 6-3 shots on goal. St. Mary's leading 1-0 on a goal from Nathan Dunkley. But it's the Patriots that will control off the face-off. They're able to get it outside their blue line, and Lauzon will swing in. He'll work it back, and cross-ice pass comes through Boivin. Boivin on the side of center, gets it up off the stick of Lafrance, left in behind there by Helvig, but it's the Patriots again, working it back to the point. Here's Noel, he'll fire, and there's Speed, sacrificing the body as he blocks that shot. The Patriot, though, regain possession, will come into the center ice area slot, and Cedric Ralph will start it up over the other way. Crosses over the blue line. Ralph with a head of steam. Works one down low. Coxhead will fire, and Gravel there to make the save. Square to that shot. Johnson back up top to Busby. Busby to Dunkley. Dunkley fires one in. That one off the stick of Johnson. Redirected wide. Bellamy puts one in. Coxhead centering to the center ice area. He'll get it back. Fire again off the shin pad. So the Huskies buzzing here on this offensive opportunity. Here's Dunkley. Nathan Dunkley. He'll fire, and that one's off the shin pad of Boivin, and quickly cleared out by the Patriot as they try and get a wholesale change.
A high impact shift there for the top line. Nathan Dunkley's been doing it all year for the Huskies. Great pressure going on. End-to-end action heating up in this one, Bo.
Bellamy able to get that one to Getson. Getson chips it out. Brady Johnson will play it in, head in on the forecheck. Gravel in behind the goal, backhands one over to Pellerin. Pellerin comes rink wide, near side. Boucher chips it by McPherson. McPherson with the long reach, able to nullify, and here's Bishop. Bishop plays it down into the corner boards. It's chipped out into the neutral zone. Tessier. Knocked off of that puck was King. It's Hampton. Back to McPherson. Justin McPherson will play it off the stick of King and into the zone. First one on it, Defonseca. Defonseca along the half wall, back to Flower. Flower tries to fire from the blue line off the stick and back into the neutral zone. McPherson through the middle. It's chipped off the boards to King and bounced back the other way. Justin McPherson across to Walter Flower. Flower up to Jonathan Hampton, across to King. King inside the blue line. Pushed off of that puck. LaFrance will work it back. Here's Justin Bergeron. Bergeron will slow things down inside his own zone as waits for some fresh legs. Bergeron leaves it there for Levine and will head off. Levine will take it in behind for a controlled breakout here for the Patriot. Lepage through the middle of the ice, and Levine will play it back to Lepage. Lepage top of the circle, backhand one in, and Helvig will knock it down with the glove. St. Mary's Huskies leading the UQTR Patriot by a score of 1-0. We'll be back after this quick commercial break.
Catch the best in Atlantic University sport excitement at home or on the go with AUS TV. Soccer, rugby, football, volleyball, hockey, basketball, and more. Tune in at AUSTV.ca. All your favorite university teams showcasing their talents in one place. AUS TV, powered by Bell Alliance. They bring it to the court. They bring it to the field. They bring it to the ice. And now they bring it to you. Presented by Subway, the official fuel of Atlantic University sport.
Welcome back inside the Eastlink Center. There's a good look at St. Mary's goaltender Jeremy Helvig. Norman, we talked about it off the top. This guy coming in at the end of November, and he's got a 12-3 record in the regular season. 3 years in the professional leagues, of course, formerly with the Chicago Wolves in the American Hockey League, a 5th rounder to Carolina. He's looked like he's settled into this Eastlink Center quite nicely here today.
Not a bad backup to start the year off with. I mean, you know, Matty Welch would have been the big recruit coming in. Helvig, of course, comes in, and what a luxury for Tyler Nagel to have that, right? Well, get in, and you know, you're looking at the guy on the bench. Look at the numbers what he did in this rink over the last number of years. So, if Helvig falters, your backup, your plan B is a pretty strong.
Here's the Huskies turning it over just outside the blue line. Dunkley will fire, just misses wide on the blocker side. Flower pipes one in. That one blocked away in front by Noel. And back on the attack come the Patriot. Lepage up over the blue line. Sticked away by McPherson. Flower tries to loft one out. It's knocked out. Here's Cote. Cote streaking in behind the goal. Centers one out off the stick of Helvig. And Dunkley quickly turns things back up ice here for the Huskies. Over the blue line. He'll drop one back. Here's Johnson. Fires one. Trickles it just wide. McPherson off the backboard. Just missed to the side of the goal of Gravel.
Big effort by Simon Lafrance there to get the high coming in. Johnson was going in the slot. You talk about the player of the year doing it offensively, getting it done on the defensive side as well for the Patriots. Big play there by him.
Another puck turned over in the neutral zone. Feed will play that one in and covered up by Gravel. And, you know, we talked about that line, right? Top line. There's Nathan Dunkley. He's been doing it all year. It's just a full steam ahead to gain the zone and then makes a pretty pass here.
Well, you know, here he is. He's a guy that averaged over a point a year in the regular season, going at a point a game. You see the second effort there by Simon Lafrance. But, you know, he's a guy that's been relied upon heavily. We've seen him ourselves firsthand. He's had really strong games against UPEI in the games that we've called all year. He's a real difference maker and a real guy that Tyler Nagel's going to have to rely on and has relied on, and he's delivered both in the regular season and in the playoffs.
Coxhead with a face-off win. Bellamy will fire one in, blockered away again by Gravel. Up over the line, it's played up and out of play. Norm, we talked about it when St. Mary scored that first goal, okay? Getson, just a puck on net. That's been their mentality here throughout this whole first period in the first 13 minutes. Get pucks towards the net, create opportunities, look for second and third looks.
Well, it's never a Picasso with St. Mary's. I mean, this is a team that is strong in the collective. But you look at their character, the strength of character, their D is hard to play against. They've got a goaltender who's on fire. They've got teams that are they got players who play hard. They don't give you any space. And if you got the puck, you better be expecting you're going to get a piece of it taken from you, because they just don't quit on anything. And that's the reason why they've been able to have the success that they've had.
Bergeron backhands one in. He was looking for a redirection. Helvig able to kick that one aside with the left lagging. It's played back out by Jonathan Hampton. Dunn leading the rush here for the Huskies. He's able to chip that one in. LaFrance to Lepage. Lepage through the neutral zone. Tessier to LaFrance. LaFrance dishes that one off. He'll get it back down low. Centered in front. Tessier couldn't get it. A backdoor feed. LaFrance in front. Helvig down through the blue paint. And that one somehow was cleared out by the Huskies.
Connor Olsen, he just might have saved the day right there as the back door was open, but great defensive awareness by him to stop that cross-ice pass. Patriots were buzzing.
Their greatest opportunity. They've had 4 shots, all grade A saves from the netminder Jeremy Helvig, and they don't get a shot away there, but probably their best opportunity of the first period. Huskies leading 1-0. Frenette sends it rink wide. There's a shot off by Boucher off the backboards. McPherson will reverse that one back to Walter Flower. Flower through the neutral zone. It's played in behind the goal of Gravel off the yellow kick plate. Bounces right to McPherson. Plays it around. Pellerin tries to backhand one. Here's Van Loon. Van Loon up top. McPherson again tries to use that backboards, and it bounces on the back of the goal. Noel able to stand up his man in behind the goal. That was Berube, and the Patriot will start up over the line. Here's Martin, top of the circle. Fires through the legs. Rebound kicked out by Helvig, but again, cleared in front by St. Mary's.
That was a tough save for Jeremy Helvig. Jeremy Martin came in on the wing and just led the shot. Went in and used the defenseman to get it in, and that just follows on the heels of this scoring chance right here. You see Felix Lafrance throws it out front. Going to come back to the point. A great look-see pass coming in. Fake the shot. Gets it down here to Simon Lafrance. Who do you want the guy sticking? Look at there. Connor Olsen stops that one as Helvig was done for dinner over on that one. Great awareness by Connor Olsen to bail the goalie out on that one.
Boivin will fire it in, gets in there, blocks it away, tries to get it up to Dunkley. It's played back in by Felix Boivin. 5:32 left to go here in the first period. A goal from Nathan Dunkley has St. Mary's up by 1. Busby in behind the goal. He'll stretch one out to Johnson. Johnson tries to play it through the middle. Boivin off the boards, gets it as far as the blue line. Getson sends it back in, far side quarter. Brady Johnson rims it on around. Getson's going to meet it there, half wall near side. Let it go back to Bellamy. Bellamy fires, and again, blocked by Cote. In the Patriot. Play it rink wide. Bellamy reading that one, steps up, fires one, redirected again by Dunkley in front. That one right into the crest of Gravel, and he'll hold on. 5 minutes even left to go here in the first period.
Well, you see the presence of a guy like Jackson Bellamy, Bo. You and I have talked about him over the course. His progress over the year has been exceptional. Maybe took that little bit of time getting adjusted to the AUS level, but man, how good has he been in the second half here? Look at him in the playoffs. I mean, he was 23 points in the regular season, carrying a point-a-game performance in the playoffs. Big, strong, mobile, smart. Been a real leader here for the St. Mary's team. You know, you talked to Tyler Nagel about him. He said he's just such a character guy and just loves how he's playing.
Here's Lafrance, far side board, make that Lauzon closed off just to finish that point on Bellamy. Back to the point, not now. Lepage will fire one in. Glove down, Thede tries to get it out. There's an opportunity, rolls just wide of Helvig. Centering feed comes right to Cedric Ralph. Dawson Thede through center ice, back to Ralph. Ralph up over the blue line, looking, stopping, top of the circle, fires one, and Gravel makes the save. Coxhead in front of whack. Thede gets an opportunity. Coxhead back to the point. Here's McPherson. Tries to find the stick of Coxhead in front. That one down to Pellerin. Pellerin over to Lepage. Lepage back to Pellerin. Here's Garneau. Garneau will chase that one down in and head off for a change. McPherson setting things up. Another controlled breakout here for the Huskies. He'll find Bishop through center. He's picked off, and there's a pass off. Tessier into the middle of the ice. Missed the stick of Lafrance, and they'll battle King on the half wall. Gets it up to Hampton. Hampton outside the blue line. He was closed off there by Simon Lafrance, and the Patriot work it back through the neutral zone. Bishop back the other way, and stretching out as far as he could there was Sam King.
Well, once again, Bo, you're going to see that big line doing damage here for the Huskies. Dawson Thede, Andrew Coxhead getting in on it, creating havoc on Alexei Gravel. There he goes. George Matthews would call it the Crease Chaos going on in front.
Well, again, we go back to that shoot-first mentality of the Huskies that we've seen here.
Get it at the net. I mean, the approach has been uncomplicated on their front. Do what you do well. Use it with it. I mean, they're out shooting the team, the Patriots, 12-6. A lot of them haven't been of the high degree, but they're making it difficult for Alexei Gravel to handle it down in his zone.
Here's Getson. Getson will flip one in and allow Johnson to go in after Boivin. Boivin gets it to L'Italien. He'll backhand one as far as the line, held in by Dunn. Dunn tried to play it back in. It's knocked back through the neutral zone. Flower in the neutral zone. Bergeron makes a rink-wide feed. Here's Cote. Cote drops one off. L'Italien off to Louis-Philippe Cote. Tries to send one back. Bergeron was headed the wrong way, and that one will come back into the neutral zone. Boivin off the boards. Gets it to Boucher. In behind the goal, there's Dunn. Dunn tries to get it across to Bellamy. Worked over there, and it'll come out, and Milo Oymet will come to Pellerin. Pellerin will take a whack at it. Ralph will close off on him. Pellerin plays it down. Here's Milo Oylet. He'll fire one. That one's sticked into the corner by Helvig. Back to the blue line. Freynet plays it again. Back down low into the slot area. Quick shot there, and a good save on Martin by Helvig. Back up top. Pellerin fires one, and that one just missing the glove side. Helvig, all kinds of traffic in front. Here's Martin, back to the point. Noel will fire, and that one's blocked there by Bellamy and floated back out through the neutral zone. 2:11 left to go here in the first period. Milo Ouellette up over the line. Busby will play it in the far side corner. Boards off to Coxhead. Coxhead cross ice to McPherson. McPherson over to Berube. Berube streaking by Noel. Here's Berube to the goal. Tries to center one out. Lepage was sprawled out and intercepted that pass.
Look at him jumping right back in the play. Make the big defensive play in one end. Jump right in on the other side. Jordan Lepage getting it done here for the Patriots. But great effort by David Berube too. Going in the fourth line, making something happen. After they almost had the turnover early on in their first shift, come back with a real good sequence right there.
There's Levine. He'll knock Hampton in front of the bench. Here's McPherson. McPherson gets it up to King. King over the line. Near side board. Centers one through. Hampton tried to get lumber on that one, and it rolls through the wickets. Back to the blue line. Flower off the bench. He'll kick that one ahead and keep it in, but it lands on the stick of Justin Bergeron. Down under a minute to go here in the first period of the first quarter final matchup. St. Mary's leading UQTR by a score of 1-0. Dunkley in the neutral zone, plays it in, and that one's knocked back out, and the Patriot will chip it in and head into the forecheck after Connor Olsen. Here's Olsen. He'll ring one around. Dunkley there gets a one-handed whack on it, and he'll continue on forward. Here's Nathan Dunkley with Pellerin. Pellerin uses his skate there, tries to play it away, gets it down low. Dunkley tries to stick it, and Van Loon charging from the bench. Couldn't get a whack at it. It's tied up in front of the goal. Here's Liam Van Loon back to Walter Flower. He'll tee one up. That one's blocked away. Quickly to get out there was Pellerin to block that one. 17 seconds left to go here in the first period. And LaFrance caught up a stride offside with 7 seconds left to go here in period number one.
Well, the sequence has been good here for the Patriots. I think we've noticed a demonstrably different team since that TV timeout. I'm sure Marc-Etienne Hubert had the opportunity to say to these guys, listen, let's start playing like champs. They come back with a few good sequences there. St. Mary's, for their part, they're not giving in on anything. I mean, you just saw the last sequence coming through. Pellerin gets out, makes a good block on the shot and the defensive play. But everyone's doing it. And what we're seeing, Bo, here, we're seeing that playoff sacrifice mentality. Everyone's buying in, doing what they have to do in order to make the game, give themselves the best chance for winning.
So it's a 1-0 St. Mary's lead here after one period. 12-8 the shots. You talked about it. UQTR has come back with a really good push here towards the latter part of this period. But St. Mary's continue to put pucks on net, get traffic in front, look for second and third opportunities.
Well, it's not been pretty. It's not, and I don't think they are ever going to say that we are going to be a team that will, look to make the really high-end skill plays. They just want to make sure that they're going in, play into their identity, and that's what they did in that period. If you're looking at Tyler Nagel, you're coming through that first period, you say, are we in it? Yeah. Are we playing well? Right on. Checking a lot of boxes. Helvig's been good. Made the saves that he had to do, and they're on point.
Now we're going to go down to ice level with the goal scorer for the St. Mary's Huskies, Nathan Dunkley. Nathan, you got the first period in the books here from the national championships. What's it been like here through 20 minutes for you as a St. Mary's Husky?
Yeah, I think the first 20 for us was just kind of getting into this tournament, getting our feet going and getting a feel for things. I felt after the first 5 minutes or so we settled down and started to play our game.
So take us through that goal in front. You were kind of adamant right away that the stick was at goal level. Take us through the play.
Yeah, so I see a turnover from them coming on the half wall, so I kind of stayed behind my defenseman. And then Justin McPherson, I believe, took a shot, and it was just right at the crossbar, so I kind of had to make a split-second decision of whether to put my stick up there. I think Zamboni's coming here, so.
There you go, the first little bit of technicals here. The gloves and stick and helmet are still down there in the ice. We're going to get around it, but Nathan, just real quickly here, we've noticed from the broadcast booth here that the mentality has been a shoot-first mentality from the St. Mary's Huskies. Is that kind of a message coming into this hockey game, get pucks on net, try and create second and third opportunities?
Yeah, I think it just comes from my first comment there on just trying to get our feel for things in this tournament. I think as the game goes on here, maybe we'll try to make a little more plays and stuff, but whatnot. But anytime you play with the lead, you got to play a little more safe. So, yeah.
Well, Nathan, thanks for joining us. You got a picture-perfect smile for television, and good luck the rest of the way. Thank you again.
Yeah, thanks so much.
Yeah. Picture's perfect smile for sure, and he should be smiling over the way he's been playing, not only in the regular season, but in the playoffs as well. He's a big piece for Tyler Nagel's St. Mary's Huskies. And, I like what he said about, the fact that they're not overly complicating things. They know what this team has to do in order to be successful. And like I said earlier, they're playing to their identity. They know what they bring. They know what all the guys can bring. And like I said, they're right on point.
First intermission will continue. It's St. Mary's Huskies 1, UQTR Patriots 0 after 1. We'll be back in just a moment.
It's that moment again. The one you dream of every night. La seule chose qui te préoccupe, c'est la gloire. Le cheminement de la réussite. Of pushing yourself further than ever before. But the true glory is in the shadows. Les sacrifices que tu fais. Quand toutes les chances sont contre toi. When you can't push one more second. Chase the glory. Visez haut.
Sports fans, check out shop.usports.ca for this week's promotional item from the Nike Team Collection. Visitez le shop.usport.ca pour en profiter de la promotion de la semaine de la collection Nike Team.
Welcome back inside the Eastlink Center here in Charlottetown. After one period of play between the St. Mary's Huskies and the UQTR Patriots, shots on goal 12-0, block shots 5-4 in favor of the Patriots. But I think the big stat that sticks out to you and I is the Patriot 11 and 8 in the face-off circle. we know the St. Mary's team is probably the best face-off team in the Atlantic University Sport Conference. This Patriot team, they got some good face-off guys as well, and they're maintaining possession off of face-offs, which is a big add throughout this weekend.
Well, number 11's leading that charge. Samuel L'Italien is one of the dominant center icemen for face-offs in the Quebec League, heavily relied upon by Marc-Étienne Hubel. But, you know, if you look at it, a bit of a stalemate, probably not surprising, Bo, when you think about it. A guy like Keith Getzkin, we've seen what he's brought to the face-off circle, not only as a Charlottetown Islander, but also as a St. Mary's Husky over the course of his time. So you're not surprised to see a couple of really big block shots in that game. Throw Dawson T goes with one. Pellerin comes with one at the end of the game when St. Mary's was coming with a bit of energy as well, too. So it's those big plays that happen that necessarily don't show up. They're not pretty, but they make a real difference in your team's success.
We talked about Keith Getzkin there, and he's the guy that creates this opportunity just by throwing pucks on net. We'll get another look at the goal here from the Huskies.
Well, you know, it was a battle won along the boards. Puck pops loose. Keith Getzkin files in support for Justin McPherson, and you know, we were sitting here, we were unsure whether that was the right call or the wrong call. Tanner Duran figured right off the hop that it was not a goal, but the great part about it is what they did is they had the time to get it right. They had the video review. Earl Campbell does his job over there to our left. They get it done, and they get it right.
We'll be back after the first intermission with more second period action here from the Eastlink Center.
Sports fans, check out shop.usports.ca for this week's promotional item from the Nike Team Collection. Visitez le shop.usport.ca pour en profiter de la promotion de la semaine de la collection Nike Team.
This season, catch the best in Atlantic University sport excitement at home or on the go with AUS TV. Soccer, rugby, football, volleyball, hockey, basketball, and more. Tune in at AUSTV.ca. All your favorite university teams showcasing their talents in one place. AUS TV, powered by Bell Alliance. They bring it to the court. They bring it to the field. They bring it to the ice. And now they bring it to you. Presented by Subway, the official fuel of Atlantic University sport.
They don't do it for the likes or for the shares. They do it for the fun of it, for the thrill, for the camaraderie, for the memories. CBC Sports, just because they love it.
It's that moment again, the one you dream of every night. La seule chose qui te préoccupe, c'est la gloire, le cheminement de la réussite. of pushing yourself further than ever before. But the true glory is in the shadows. Les sacrifices que tu fais, quand toutes les chances sont contre toi, when you can't push one more second, chase the glory. Visez haut.
Behind the glory. Watch, listen, stream, read CBC Sports.
Arrivent à l'université en sachant ce qu'elles vont faire dans la vie. D'autres viennent pour le découvrir. Peu importe la raison, elles trouveront leur chemin à l'Université d'Ottawa. Un chemin vers la connaissance et vers le succès. Vous étudierez avec des professeurs qui sont des leaders dans leur domaine. 89 d'entre eux sont titulaires de chaires de recherche du Canada. Tout au long de votre parcours, des mentors, des conseillers et des accompagnateurs vous appuieront pour que vous développiez votre plein potentiel.
Welcome back inside the Eastlink Center here for period number 2. It's a great look at St. Mary's netminder Jeremy Helvig, and at the other end, Alexei Gravel. Gravel, of course, he's got great numbers. You know, somewhere around 2 goals a game he usually gives up, but his save percentage, 9.32 in the regular season, 9.29 in the playoffs. He's a guy that, of course, last year was the MVP of this U Cup tournament. They're going to turn to him to kind of shut the door here the rest of the way.
Well, they're going to be looking for both of them to shut the doors. They're going to be playing critical roles here in this game, Bo. You can look at the experience that he's gleaned, and we come back to that sort of experience factor. You're looking at a team like UQTR who's been there. They've got that winning pedigree. They've got a lot of guys, 15 guys, returning from that winning team last year here.
Who was down in the championship game.
Who was down 2 goals against you late in the game, right? And then they come back. Look what they did against Concordia in the game, in the final game. They were down 4-0 early in the second period, chipped away, came back with 3 goals late in the second period. Jordan LePage gets the overtime winner. A guy who's normally known for his defensive heroics gets it done offensively as well, too. So there's still a lot of hockey left to be played in this one.
St. Mary's controls the opening face-off, and Coxhead will chip it in and go after Boivin. Gummed up along the boards in behind, and it's kicked free to Noel. Noel up through center, picked off by Ralph, tried to drop it back to Coxhead. Here's Levine. Across to Lauzon, he'll play it in, and it's worked down underneath and comes back up top. Bergeron in front, tip Garneau driving the net. Olivier Garneau, a carbon copy of the first goal of the hockey game from the Huskies, as it's thrown on net by Bergeron. Garneau gets a stick on it, it's by Helbig, and we're tied up at 1.
A little bit of deja vu all over again, Bo, as UQTR get in. They making something happen early on. Puck goes in behind. Zachary Levine wins the battle. Gets it back here to Justin Bergeron. Throws it in front. That shot, tip pass, high deflection. That's so hard to handle for a goalie. As you see Levine, the captain, going in. Out muscles Dennis Busby. He shoots it around wide. Dawson T can't get to it. Bergeron, the highly offensive guy, didn't score any goals here in the regular season. He had, I think, 23 assists or something like that. But here, you know, there you go, Olivier Garneau. He's been holding the hot hand for UQTR in the playoffs. That's going to be his first goal of the playoffs, but playing very strong. Gets the Patriots here early on in the game.
Had the partial breakaway in the first period, and a big goal here 29 seconds into the second period, and we're knotted back up at 1. But here's this effective line for the Huskies. Dunkley rink wide, gets it, can't put it back towards the goal, and L'Italien will swing in for the Patriot. It's closed off by Dunkley at the line. He'll get it to Getson. Getson across to Busby. He'll send it in far side corner boards, and Dunkley has it poked away from him, and here come the Patriot up over the line. Cote tries to play it to Noel. It's picked off by Brady Johnson. A couple of Patriot collide in the neutral zone. Chipped in by Dunkley out of the reach of Johnson, and Cote gets a stick on that one, plays it down, but that will be icing on the call as official Ryan Reed blows her down.
So Justin Bergeron gets the only assist on that one. That's going to be, like we said, a big goal, big way to start here for this period coming in for UQTR. Changes the complexity of the game in a hurry, right? I mean, now we're here, we're back at level playing field once again. But what would we expect? We wouldn't expect anything different from two teams like this who've clearly come to play in this quarterfinal game.
Huskies will control that face-off. It's Bishop. Fires one, just missed it over the glove of Gravel. McPherson, we've watched him here numerous times in the first period. Very active backboard here at the Eastlink Center, and he's trying to find a redirection that will pop out in front of the goal. He'll send another one high and wide on the glove side of Gravel. Flower at the blue line. There's a stick that comes up high just inside the blue line. That's on Bishop. Bishop back to his feet. He picks that puck up, but he's astride offside.
Just following up on your point there, Bo, with the active backboards here at the Eastlink Center. Renowned for it, right? You see it forever, but played into the hands of St. Mary's in a couple of games that we did earlier this year. You remember the goal? UPI was up 2-0. Dennis Busby takes that big, long stretch pass down the ice, takes a weird hop off the corner. Keith Getson, a guy who knows a thing or two about the boards here at the Eastlink Center, capitalizes. So they've done their homework, right? They understand what the nuances of the building are, and they're trying to use them to their advantage.
Coxhead will win that face-off, and chipped out over the stick of Thede. LaFrance will play it in, and his brother Felix will go in and hunt. Thede will get it on the half-wall boards, and Felix gets it off to Tessier. Felix Lafrance. Back to Tessier. Tessier looking for an option. He'll get it to Simon Lafrance. Lafrance will spin away from Coxhead. Tries to take it down low, and he's knocked down, and Bergeron will come in. Coxhead with control. Tries to bounce it out. Bergeron stepping up. Drops one off. Tessier to Lafrance. Lafrance, wait, backdoor feed. What a look there for Bergeron. Just put it up and over the goal of Helvig in front. Wow. Here's Lafrance again to Bergeron. He'll fire, and that one's off the body. And wow, we see that Patriot skill there as they work that puck around.
Wow, full display. You're going right there. It all starts with the quarterback in the back end. Quick play there by Julien Tessier. Gets it into the hands. Look at that play. Simon Lafrance. Patience. Wide open. Justin Bergeron, head going up to the ceiling. Can't believe he missed a gaping net, but good effort on Sam Dunn's getting parked home. Made it a little bit more difficult for Bergeron to get it in, but heck of an effort here. UQTR coming out with pace, with panache in this first period.
We talk about that goal that they scored. 29 seconds in and the difference it can make. Well, they're full steam ahead here since tying this game back up at 1.
No, it's a game of momentum too, right? You generate it in all kinds of ways. No better way than by scoring a goal.
Martin to Lepage. Lepage will fire one. Helvig quick with the kicker who stopped that one. Floated in, knocked down in front. Here's an opportunity from behind the goal. They'll work it up top. Pellerin at the blue line. Fires it in. It'll come off those lively backboards into Helvig. Milo Ouellette to Freinet. Freinet half wall boards, works one down to Milo Ouellette. Martin got the feed and puts that one wide. Here's Bellamy, closed off by Milo Ouellette. Berube off the boards. Here's Dunkley. Dunkley swooping back in front of his own goal. He'll spin and go behind. Lepage watches him. Bellamy across to Busby. We see this Patriot team. They're taking it to the Huskies here in the first 3.5 minutes of this second period.
Well, not only that, but he's coming back with the top line once again, coming back with the Lausanne line too. But we're going to take a look here at the goals. Very similar in nature. The first one, of course, Keith Getson just firing it at the net. Nathan Dunkley managed to get the stick on it, gets it in between the pads of Alexis Gravel. Looks like almost a replay coming here once again. What a smart play by Justin Bergeron to get it in. He was head up the whole time. Saw Garneau cutting through the slot area. Makes this good hard pass. Garneau did the right thing. Beauty goal over there by the Patriots.
Hampton able to keep that alive, and Boivin will go back in behind the goal. He's closed off there by King and joined in the fray by Bishop. Boivin gets it back and works it from the far side corner boards in his own zone. Garneau gets one across, and Noel couldn't handle it. Levine up through center. He'll get that one off to Lauzon. Lauzon. A feed over to Noel. He couldn't handle and plays it down into the corner. Lauzon tries to center that one to Garneau as battle ensues in front of the goal. Flower and Lauzon, they were all tied up there in front. Here come the Patriot out off the boards. A drop pass in front. Comes back to the point now. Boivin to Levine. Levine feeds it back door. Garneau not expecting. Back up top. Here's Boivin. He'll fire, and King will block that one. Here's Hampton. Hampton gets it up to Bishop. Bishop got his stick on it and was able to slow that puck up, and just enough that it will not go for icing. So Pellerin stretches one out. Here's Boucher. Boucher will play it into the corner boards near side, and L'Italien will hunt it down. Here's Flower coming out from his own zone. He was draped all over by Boucher. Boucher with Cote. Cote fires, and Helvig, top of the blue paint, takes it right into the crest. Canada's best university men's volleyball teams head to Hamilton for the 2023 U Sports Men's Volleyball Championship presented by Mikasa. Catch every second of the action beginning Friday only on CBC Gems, CBCSports.ca, and the CBC Olympic YouTube channel.
UQTR really coming out with pace here in the second period. St. Mary's having a hard time responding. The puck management, puck possession has been exemplary here by the Patriots, making it very difficult to the smooth defense, getting lost in a lot of their in their zone rotations. UQTR making it extremely difficult. They've been buzzing here in the early part. first 5 minutes of this period.
Van Loon back up top to Don Olsen, able to keep it in. Gets a stick on that one, redirects it. It's back in behind the goal, gets it. And Van Loon will battle for that puck. Van Loon pushed to the ice as the Patriots start up over the line. Here's Tessier. Tessier will bounce it in off the glass, and meeting it far side boards as LaFrance tries to play one in through the middle of the ice. Don will pick it off and play it out off the stick of Charlie DeFonseca. A pass up to, played in, and Olsen back to Theed. Theed one touches to Cox, plays it across to his defenseman Dunn. Dunn tries to chip it forward. Bergeron steps up into the rush. They're three abreast. Here's LaFrance, backdoor feed, just hops over the stick. A centering feed from LaFrance. There's a shot blocked in front, and Bergeron takes a stick, and he's down on the ice as the Patriot carry on. Here's LaFrance. LaFrance waits for a 6-on-5 attack back to Boivin. Here's LaFrance, top of the circle. He'll fire that one, blocked by Dunn, and the Huskies will touch it. And we'll get our first penalty of the hockey game, a high sticking call here.
Well, we're looking at a pretty, this could be a significant point here in this game here. Dawson T was just fighting for the puck. Gets it up. Oh, man. That's a good. It's got to be 4. Right? That's a big play. It's Bergeron, right? You know, that could be bordering 5. But anyway, 4 minutes. That's going to be a tough one here for St. Mary's coming back.
13:35 left to go here in the second period. St. Mary's yet to put a puck on goal here in this, as the Patriots have come out buzzing, and they'll get an opportunity here for a 4-minute power play. And I'll tell you what, 27.9 in the regular season, 21.9 in the playoffs. Their special teams, are they ever clicking?
Right, and you're going to be looking at 13 and 4 are going to be the instrumental players in making that happen, as LaFrance and Bergeron. You know, I mentioned earlier, Bergeron has no goals this year, but, you know, he makes it happen on the offensive side of things. 25 assists in the regular season, another 5 here in the playoffs. They're lethal.
Up over the line, and with this 4-minute opportunity at the start of this, the top line was tired, right? So they come with the second unit. You know, head coach Hubert comes with the second unit off the hop there, because that first line's tired. On a 4-minute power play, you can do that.
Well, you got time, right? So, and I don't think Marc-Étienne Hubert has any hesitation in throwing out. That's where your depth comes in, Bo, where you're talking about guys that you can play in a variety of situations. And you got the lot. So when you got a lot of weapons in your arsenal, use what you have.
We'll see a lot of Joel Bishop and Keith Getson here for the Huskies as they try and kill this off. 3:22 left to go in the 4-minute minor. Puck played down, and the Patriot will set up. Here's Gravel out from the crease, leaves it there for Boivin. And in an event like this, a 4-minute power play, you have to be pushing the cylinders at all costs here, and you can't be what's going on here. I mean, obviously, credit to St. Mary's. They've come in here with a lot of prep, and they're getting this thing killed off. They're down to 3 minutes left to go. The Patriot yet to direct one towards the goal. Boucher comes back up top. Here's Boivin, walks to the middle of the ice. He'll play it back down low as the Patriots now gain possession inside the line. Boivin works it back down low again. Setting it up is the Patriot as they play it down low in behind the goal. A centering feed comes to Boucher in front, and now knocked away. LaFrance plays it down low. There's Cox head, can't get it out. Good keep by Boivin. Here's Boucher. Boucher driving the goal, tries to feed one across, gets it there. LaFrance will center in front. It's down in behind the goal. A centering feed. Here's Boivin. Fake shoots. Helvig the save. Comes right to Tessier. Tries to work it across as we see this Patriot power play start to go to work. Here's Boucher, and that'll be offside.
The one good thing about, you know, these teams don't know each other a lot. They don't play much against one another over the course of the year, if at all. But one thing you can do is you can scout power plays. You can watch video footage. You can see what their tendencies are. It's one of the more easily identifiable pre-scout things that you can do. And so far, it's working here for the Huskies as they effectively killed the first half of this 4-minute minor. The Dawson teed off.
Here's Keith Getson in the forecheck, short-handed as he won that face-off. That's a Keith Getson-like mentality that's been seen a lot here at the Eastlink Center, but Freynet's able to shake loose. Here's Connor Freinet. He'll rim it around, and Garneau meets it half wall boards near side. He'll rim it back, and Noel will get it far side boards as they try and get the penalty killers moving. Garneau works it down low. Back up top, it comes to Noel. Noel across to Lepage. Lepage will fire one again. That one blocked away. Comes to Freinet. Freinet into Garneau. Tried to one-time it off the skate, and he'll play it over to Noel. Noel to Lepage. They'll play pitch and catch, and closing off there is Joel Bishop. Bishop trying to freeze that puck up along the wall the best he can. 1 minute and 8 seconds left in the power play. Here's Lepage. He'll fire one, gets him down, and took that one right off the shin pit. He's bent over. It continues on. Back up top. Here's Lepage. Lepage to Freinet. Freinet will drag, work it down low. Back up top, Freinet. A cross-ice pass. Scores! Noel just inside the top of the circle. Lets a one-time blast go. And the Patriot strike on the power play.
Wow, the Huskies did a very effective job of killing that penalty up there. Unfortunately, the puck popped loose at the latter part of it. Good exchange down low there. Looks like the one-timer, David Noel, had a big goal in that last game there against Windsor. Comes back here with another big goal here 1 game later to get the Patriots 2-1 lead. But that's a huge goal after that quick start that they came out on fire from the start of this game. They just continued it on here halfway through the period. It's been all UQTR.
They're right back on the attack from the side of the goal through the blue paint. Here's Cote redirected in front by Levine. It'll roll down, and Bellamy trying to get it out. St. Mary's yet to have a shot on goal here halfway through the second period. DeFonseca backhands one down, and out comes Gravel. Gravel will play it off, comes to Levine, and he gets tied up with the official. He's able to chip it off to Lozon. He'll play it in, and Bellamy will chase it for St. Mary's. Gets it up to DeFonseca. He'll bounce it off the boards, and a spinning puck that will roll for icing.
So Samuel L'Italien and Connor Freinet drawing the assists on the David Noel goal here to give the Patriot a big lead here, and it's been, like I said earlier, Bo, it's been all UQTR here in this period. Tyler Nagel's going to have to find a response for it, but they got to stem the tide here in a hurry, or else this could be going out. This could get out of hand before they know it.
Here's Ala. Gets it across, and Noel will get it to Tessier through the middle of the ice, out of the reach of LaFrance, and McPherson gets it up to Johnson. Johnson to Getson. Getson tried to find Dunkley streaking towards the goal. He'll play it off the boards and work it in behind against Noel. Noel will glove one down, but skating into that one, trying to work it back to the point. That was Berube. Comes all the way back inside the Husky zone, and Dunn will try and start out with it. Leaves one back for McPherson, and the Patriot on the forecheck will bring it out from the boards, try and make a pass with it. That one's off the skate of Berube. A rink-wide pass to Milo Olette, and that'll be offside. 8:55 left to go here in period number 2. It's the Patriot leading the Huskies 2-1. We'll be back after this commercial break.
They don't do it for the likes or for the shares. They do it for the fun of it, for the thrill, for the camaraderie, for the memories. CBC Sports, just because they love it.
Unbelievable! History has repeated itself!
Get the stories behind the glory. Watch, listen, stream, read CBC Sports.
Fans, you too can celebrate each U Sports team's gold medal with victory. Your very own commemorative apparel from T. Leedson Sports. Fans of basketball's Carleton Ravens and Guelph Griffins in track have been flocking to shop.usports.ca to purchase their piece of history. On Monday, the championship collection from this championship will be available for purchase, but hurry, supplies will go fast on this limited time offer. That's the U Sports Championship Collection on sale at shop.usports.ca.
I don't think that TV timeout could have come at a better time here for the St. Mary's Huskies Bows. They've been reeling here in the first 11 minutes and 5 seconds of this period. They have to come in. It's a time for them to come back, give their heads a shake, give it a little bit of dust off things, recognize what they've been doing well in that first period, and get back to playing St. Mary's Huskies hockey.
Lepage will send it in behind, and Flower comes from behind the goal. He'll get it across to Getson. Getson finds Johnson streaking up near side boards. Here's Johnson, tries to fire one. That one blocked away by Pellerin. Johnson back on the puck pursuit, tries to work it up top. Getson gets it to Flower. Across to McPherson. McPherson fires one in, looking for the stick of Johnson. It's off his shin pad, and it's chipped ahead. Here's Garneau. Back to Pellerin, cross-ice pass, and through the middle of the ice, it'll come back to Pellerin. He'll gain center and loft one high into the air, down into the Husky zone. McPherson closed off there by Levine. L'Italien is in there battling. It'll come to Levine. Levine back up top. Boyvan over to Noel. Noel will send it off the backboards, and Hampton was all tied up with his man. It's the Patriot on the attack. Boucher to Boyvan. Boyvan lost the stride there, but was able to flip it down. Boucher back up top to Boyvan. Boyvan fires. King will block it away, puts one through the center ice area. Van Loon can't get to it. Hampton, the second attempt. Van Loon off to King. King up over the line. He'll fire one. First shot of the second period there for the Huskies. Kicked aside by Gravel off the stick. Boucher through the neutral zone with Italien. Cote. Italien watched there by Busby. Played down in behind the goal, and Bellamy kicks it across. Cote works it back up top. There's a shot from Noel, and Helvig will hold on and take that one. Next game up here on the docket tonight, of course, is the AUS champion UNB Reds taking on the Concordia Stingers. Of course, Concordia gets in after winning their consolation game. Set it up to be a good matchup. I've heard here from a couple of different people that I've talked to, do not sleep on this Concordia team. They got some skill.
Sneaky good. And they got, I mean, you talk about a goaltending matchup. We're going to be looking at two of the best goaltenders in Canada. Jonathan Lemieux. Pair of rookies, yeah. Samuel Richard from UNB. Jonathan Lemieux for Concordia. Woo-hoo! Gonna be a dandy.
Bishop will start it back up. The Huskies chipped in, and he took a body check there from Martin and was able to get the better effect of that one. Here's Coxhead battling down low, but it's Frenette who's able to come out with it. He tries to play it back. Olsen will play it down and in. Here's Bishop, tries to center again to Coxhead as he battles with Frenette. Pellerin off the glass. Olsen will knock it down with the glove. Swinging in there, Frenette. It's a battle in front of the Huskies bench, and it's kicked ahead. Here's Ralph. Ralph sneaks that puck away from Pellerin. Coxhead down low, corner boards, far side. Works it to Johnson off the bench. He'll fire one, and that one blocked by Milo Ouellette. A centering feed comes to Coxhead to Dunkley in front. Got all of it, just put it up and over the blocker. Dunkley again tries to fire one in. Pellerin can't field it, and Dunkley tried to work it into the middle to Getson. It sticked away and comes back. Dunn sends it through the middle. Getson will skate into it, plays it off to Johnson. Johnson looking for an option, tries to put it towards the net. It's off a shin pad. Getson rims it on around, and here's Lafrance, French off the bench. He'll get it out into the neutral zone. The Huskies coming with a push here. Getson plays it in, and Pellerin asks Gravel to rim it on around, and he'll do so right to the stick of Tessier. Tessier tries to make a pass to Lafrance. It's picked off by Flower. He'll play it in, take the hit, and the Huskies back in the forecheck. It's Johnson taking his man into the boards, but it's Lafrance who chips it out. Flower knocks it down. Dunkley pushes ahead. He'll streak over the blue line. Here's Dunkley. Backdoor feed. King driving the goal. Couldn't knock it down. Here's Hampton. He'll fire, and that one off a shin pad. Flower plays it in around. 5:23 left to go here in the second period. Here's Hampton in behind the goal. He's pushed off of that puck. Lafrance desperately gets it out into the neutral zone, and McPherson will look to quickly turn that one back up. McPherson plays it up through the neutral zone, and that'll allow the Patriot to get a change. Here's Pellerin. Tries to send it rink wide. That'll go for icing, and a couple of these bodies kept out there.
Well, you know what I like about what Tyler Nagel just did here? We talked about that break having the effect. It's had the effect that they were looking for. It all started a few shifts ago with that Liam Van Loon. This line that was just going off there right now, Van Loon, Sam King, and Jonathan Hampton. Getting in hard in the body, making it difficult. That started a whole sequence, and I like what Tyler Nagel did right there. He came back with that line again, sensing that this is a guy, this is the catalyst that we need right now at this time to keep the momentum going in our favor. A noticeable difference in the Huskies play on that last few shifts.
Bellamy tries to fire in this Patriot team. They love to box shots. Here's Bishop down low, Coxhead from the corner boards. He can't streak it away. Boivin closed off, but the Patriots are able to try and start it out. A long stretch pass picked off there by Bellamy. Bishop will skate into it, but here's an opportunity. Quick shot. Helvig got the elbow on it. As Simon Lafrance had his spot picked up over the glove side. Lafrance to Lepage. He'll chip it in. Levine is going to skate in, leave it there. Here's Levine. He'll fire, and Helvig there to make the save. So a good pushback there for the UQTR Patriots.
Well, there you go with the leadership group coming in, and they sense that they're going to feel, they were feeling the tide turning a little bit. Lafrance jumps on the puck. There it is, a quick wrist here, and that was a great save there by Helvig. And then they come back with another shift right after that. You see another Felix Lazon gets it down to Levine. Unfortunately, the angle wasn't that great. Helvig was able to turn that one aside.
And for a guy like Lafrance, that's at the end of like a minute and 45-second shift. He got caught out there in the icing, and he's seen his lane, and you can guarantee that the most outstanding player, the Joseph A. Sullivan Trophy Award winner, was going to take a shot.
They don't pass off opportunities like that, Bo, when they know what's presenting in front of them. That's what distinguishes the great ones from the also rings.
Gets and turns and fires, glove down there by Gravel. So we see this line that's been so effective for the Huskies, and they're getting it mixed up here. Dunkley. So we see Bergeron there with the full shield screen on.
Well, it all started with the extra little whack coming. I'm not sure who took it. I think it was Brady Johnson might have get in. Alexi Gravel froze the puck. See, Bergeron, he got hit from the Dawson Teed. He took that penalty against him on the high stick earlier on. So
got the full shield on here now.
What do they call that? The bird cage.
The fishbowl.
Fishbowl, that's what they call it. Yeah, anyway, I'm sure it's not going to impede his performance here. He's a high-end player here for the Patriots, and he'll do whatever it takes in order to get himself back in the game.
Hampton wins that face-off. McPherson will take it down underneath the goal line. McPherson will leave it there for Dawson Teed. Teed gets it down to Hampton. Hampton tries to make a move with it. Noel will poke it off his stick, and the Huskies are trying to push. 3:35 left to go here in the second period. 2-1 the Patriot lead on 2 goals here in the second period. Won by the man with the puck in his stick, Noel. In around to Louis-Philippe Côté. Côté to Martin. Martin watched there by his teammate L'Italien. He tries to come out, and Flower will pickpocket and get it up to Theed. Theed will play it in, and King will be the first one in on that puck for the Huskies. Sam King battling with Boivin. Hampton will join the mix, and Theed will watch on as Boivin tries to kick that puck loose against King. King plays it back in behind, and it's swooped in and taken there by Frenette. Frenette back to Boivin. Boivin feeling the pressure. He lost one back into the neutral zone right on the stick of Sam Dunn. Dunn will get one over to Connor Olsen. Olsen plays one off a stick and into the zone. Gravel sets it up there for Noel. Noel from under the goal line tries to make a reverse pass. Bishop, first one there. Joel Bishop knocked down. Goes glove to stick to Coxhead, and Coxhead worked off that puck, and Olsen turning and chasing it down, takes a whack at it, and will roll inside the line, and we'll get an offside call as there we get another look. Joel Bishop engaging, lighting the fire here for this St. Mary's team.
Well, that's what he does. I mean, he get in there after the whistle. If you're going to have anything, you know, you're going to get 125% out of that guy coming in. But I just want to go back to a guy like Dawson Teed a minute ago. You know, you can't help but cheer for guys. You know, here's a guy who, if you go back to his junior days, gets traded the year that Bathurst wins the Memorial Cup. ends up in Gatineau. Comes here at St. Mary's, has a, off and on, he had an injury-filled career this year, comes back, has that big game against UNB, scores the 2 goals, gets the overtime winner, coming back here, and you can't help but cheer for a guy like that, a guy who's been a heart and soul. Tyler Nagel talked about him being a real leader in the playoffs with his calmness, his leadership. You got to root for guys like that.
Member of the Halifax Thunderbirds lacrosse team as well, the professional team that's located in Halifax. He got a trade there 2 years ago. Did he ever light up the league last year? Crazy statistics. He's only played in 1 game, but I would expect here after this weekend that he'll likely draw back into that lineup. So I know from being on that lacrosse court, he'd have some great momentum. Here's Tessier, backdoor feed, and just rolls off the stick, and the cross-ice pass, a stretch pass, gets up just inside the blue line. Bishop uses the body, protects that puck, works it towards the goal. Joel Bishop, 1-on-3, tries to turn and center it, and Pellerin will push it in towards Gravel.
Joel Bishop unleashing his inner Simon Lafrance going in there, dipsy doodling, but here you see the play. Once again, a couple of the Huskies tried to overload a little bit on Jordan Lepage. Nice smooth play by Tessier. Gets it over into Simon Lafrance. Tried to go short side on Jeremy Helvig. He was having none of that. But there you talk about it, the high-end skill. A guy like Tessier coming in the playoffs. He's been carrying the mantle here. 9 points, 6 games, 2 goals, 7 assists. Almost got his 10th one right there. And big-time play by Jeremy Helbig to keep this a 1-goal game.
Gets it, a win a face-off. It's fired in by Johnson, easily balkered away by Gravel. Boivin from behind the goal line. He'll start it up. Busby gets it across to Johnson, and it's played back. Here's Lauzon. Lauzon up over the blue line. Takes it wide on Busby, drops it back. Levine will rim it on around. It's met there by Boivin. Boivin will try and close off. Dunkley battles for that puck, gets it to Getz and chips it off to Brady Johnson. Johnson up over center ice, plays it in. Far side corner boards, and Dunkley will go in after it in behind the goal, tries to backhand one off to Getson. Getson will come back out top to regain that F3 position. The Patriot down underneath the goal line. Levine swings one across to Bergeron. Bergeron closed off there by Johnson, and the half wall boards far side. Gets it, works it loose to Dunn. Sam Dunn walks the line, comes back to the middle. Golson will fire, tipped in front. Dunkley on the rebound. Second whack at it. Gravel down, smothers that puck. Nathan Dunkley with a great opportunity on the rebound. Just couldn't get the loft on it, up and over the pad of Alexei Gravel.
Well, he just did the right thing. I mean, drove hard to the net. Good play there. Connor Olsen head up the whole time, gets it on net. Gravel really didn't see it. Stretches out that big frame of his. Dunkley just couldn't get it over that pad, but a good push here by the Huskies late on and into this period. You see there once again, Gravel just kicks her out, throws it up. He might have just flipped it up at the last minute there, Bo. That might have been the difference in keeping this a 1-goal game here for the Patriots.
Hampton wins that face-off. Olsen back at the point, over to Dunn. Dunn fires one in off the backboards. King going to take a high stick, and that one's floated towards the goal. Both officials with the arm up, so that means the St. Mary's Huskies are going to go to the power play here. 33 seconds left to go in the second period. They're never going to turn one down, but how many times do we see 4-minute penalty there as we get a real good look there at King? He's going through that playoff period there, Norm. I don't know if is it the blood or is it the dye,
well,
maybe?
I don't know what it was either, but he was working hard to show any kind of evidence that might have been given there for Mike Langen. And anyway, whatever evidence he was given, he was buying it on the jury. And the verdict is a double minor here. Big opportunity here for the St. Mary's Huskies late in this second period.
30 seconds here in this second period. Here's McPherson pushing up over the line. Gets it to Theed. Theed puts it towards the goal. Gravel will stick it into the corner. Coxhead comes down low. Coxhead down from his knees. Ralph battling in there. 14 seconds left to go here in the second period. Puck played out and will go down the length of the ice. Helbig out to stop it with the big stick, and time runs down here in the second period. Norm, it was over halfway through the period. before the St. Mary's Huskies got a shot on goal, and then they were able to kind of take over after that TV timeout and fire 6 towards Alexei Gravel. A couple of great opportunities.
Well, it's a tale of two cities, Bo, in that period. I mean, we were having our neck was getting stiff to the left side for the first half of it. Then it was pretty much stiff on the right side of it for the second half. But you know, you talk about it. You're talking about two teams that are coming in here. What a great hockey game it's been. Both sides giving nothing to the other side, and you know. But what else can we expect from teams that are? You got a national champion on one side looking to defend their title for the first time since in the last 6 years. Then you got St. Mary's looking to make a statement here on the other side, showing that they've been battle tested, showing that they're ready to go. And both of them are showing here, putting on a heck of a performance for everybody coming in.
Both goaltenders standing tall here so far. We have Olivier Garneau who's going to join us here.
Olivier, l'an dernier, vous avez été champion canadien. Vous arrivez ici en tant que défenseur de ce titre. Est-ce que ça jouait un peu dans votre mentalité ou vous tentez d'ignorer un peu ce titre que vous avez eu l'an dernier?
Non, pas vraiment. Je pense qu'on a tenté d'ignorer ce fait-là. On sait qu'ici, c'est toutes les meilleures équipes au Canada qui sont ici. Fait que chaque game va être difficile. Fait qu'on se prépare un match à la fois, puis on essaie d'oublier l'an dernier et on vit dans le présent.
Vous étiez de l'arrière de 1 but à la fin de la première période de jeu. C'était quoi le message entre la première et la deuxième période pour vous permettre de revenir?
Je pense que ça a été de réduire le stress. On était un peu nerveux en première période. Fait que c'était de revenir à nos bonnes habitudes, de bien se supporter, d'amener des rondelles au filet avec du trafic. Puis ça a très bien été.
Et il y a eu 2 buts de votre côté lors de la deuxième période. Le premier a été le tien. Il semblerait avoir une bonne chimie avec Justin Bergeron sur la séquence. Parle-moi un peu de la dynamique sur la patinoire qui vous a amené à ce premier but.
Oui, dans le fond, je sortais de mon territoire. Puis j'ai vu que Justin avait la rondelle à la ligne bleue. Donc je me suis précipité au filet. Justin, c'est un défenseur qui est très bon offensivement. Donc il a pris le temps de bien prendre son lancer. Puis j'avais juste à mettre ma palette puis à juste rentrer dans le filet. Fait que j'étais bien content.
Et au retour à la troisième période, vous avez 3 minutes 27 en désavantage numérique contre le deuxième meilleur avantage numérique du circuit de l'Atlantique. C'est quoi le mot d'ordre?
C'est sûr que ça va être de bloquer des lancers, de rester ensemble dans l'enclave, puis d'aider Alexis dans le filet le plus possible. Fait que ça va être un gros test pour nous en commençant la troisième période, mais si on réussit ça, on va être bon pour continuer comme en deuxième.
Merci beaucoup, Olivier. On apprécie ton temps et bonne chance pour la troisième période et pour la fin de ce tournoi.
Merci beaucoup.
That was Olivier Garneau was going in talking about, they were asking him about the mentality about being the defending champions coming in here. Is that something that works in their favor? And his response was, you know, all teams are good. All teams are strong. They have to be ready to give it all. And, you know, he thought that maybe they were a little bit nervous, a little bit tight in that first period. After that first period, they came out and they were much more relaxed. That was clearly demonstrated in the response that they had coming back. And then finally, they talked about the third period. Alexei Gravel is going to be a big piece for them in coming back in this one and finishing this one off.
It's a 2-1 UQTR Patriot lead over the St. Mary's Huskies. We'll be back with more intermission in just a moment.
Hey, sports fans, check out shop.usports.ca for this week's promotional item from the Nike Team Collection. Visitez le shop.usport.ca pour en profiter de la promotion de la semaine de la collection Nike Team.
It's that moment again, the one you dream of every night. La seule chose qui te préoccupe, c'est la gloire. Le cheminement de la réussite, of pushing yourself further than ever before. But the true glory is in the shadows. Les sacrifices que tu fais, quand toutes les chances sont contre toi. When you can't push one more second, chase the glory. Visez haut.
Welcome back inside the Eastlink Center here in Charlottetown. After 2 periods of play, it's the UQTR Patriot leading the St. Mary's Huskies by a score of 2-1. Norman, after the first period, it was Huskies. They had the shot favor 10-8. In the second period, they don't manage to get a shot on goal in the first 9.5 minutes, and UQTR kind of took it to them. But we talked about that TV timeout kind of being the switch in the first period, and then again in the second period.
Well, it was almost a flip in terms of the shots. You know, first period 12-8, second period 10-6 coming in. But you're right on, Bo. I mean, they were dead to rights. They were looking for a lifeline, and they found it in that TV timeout when they come back in. And when they come out, they were a different team in that latter part of that second period. Now here they're going to be sitting with 3 minutes and 20 seconds, a minute and 27. To get one goal, so often that first double minor, and then they get a full double minor after that. So this is a huge opportunity for the St. Mary's Huskies to get back into this one.
One other thing we talked about was the face-offs. I know earlier on in that period, UQTR was dominating the face-off circle. Once St. Mary's again started to come out after that TV timeout, I think they won 6 or 7 offensive zone face-offs in a row.
Well, again, that kind of speaks to how the game changed. Right, in terms of the differential that was coming in, and that was one of the difference that enabled St. Mary's to get back into this one, because as soon as you get the puck, you can start to dictate the pace of play, and that made the difference for them.
It was early in the first period, 29 seconds in fact. We see a carbon copy, Norman, of the first goal that was scored by Nathan Dunkley. And then again, they answer back in the power play. What a good look this was.
Well, great puck movement on both of the goals. You saw there, Italien down to Freenet. Didn't waste any time. Get it over to David Noel. Don't waste any time in the stick. Get the big shot. Get the fist pump going. That got them going early. That was a big difference in this game so far.
2-1 after 2 periods of play in favor of the UQTR Patriot. We'll be back with the third period in just a moment.
The best in Atlantic University sport excitement at home or on the go with AUS TV. Soccer, rugby, football, volleyball, hockey, basketball, and more. Tune in at AUSTV.ca. All your favorite university teams showcasing their talents in one place. AUS TV, powered by Bell Alliance. They bring it to the court. They bring it to the field. They bring it to the ice. And now they bring it to you. Presented by Subway, the official fuel of Atlantic University sport. Catch the best in Atlantic University sport excitement at home or on the go with AUS TV. Soccer, rugby, football, volleyball, hockey, basketball, and more. Tune in at AUSTV.ca. All your favorite university teams showcasing their talents in one place. AUS TV, powered by Bell Alliance. They bring it to the court. They bring it to the field. They bring it to the ice. And now they bring it to you. Presented by Subway, the official fuel of Atlantic University sport.
It's that moment again, the one you dream of every night. La seule chose qui te préoccupe, c'est la gloire. Le cheminement de la réussite, of pushing yourself further than ever before. But the true glory is in the shadows. Les sacrifices que tu fais, quand toutes les chances sont contre toi. When you can't push one more second, chase the glory. Visez haut.
They don't do it for the likes or for the shares. They do it for the fun of it, for the thrill, for the camaraderie, for the memories. CBC Sports, just because they love it.
Unbelievable! History has repeated itself!
Get the stories behind the glory. Watch, listen, stream, read CBC Sports.
Arrivent à l'université en sachant ce qu'elles vont faire dans la vie. D'autres viennent pour le découvrir. Peu importe la raison, elles trouveront leur chemin à l'Université d'Ottawa. Un chemin vers la connaissance et vers le succès. Vous étudierez avec des professeurs qui sont des leaders dans leur domaine. 89 d'entre eux sont titulaires de chaires de recherche du Canada. Tout au long de votre parcours, des mentors, des conseillers et des accompagnateurs vous appuieront pour que vous développiez votre plein potentiel.
Welcome back inside the Eastlink Center here for period number 3. There's a great look at two guys that are going to be relied on heavily here in period number 3, Alexei Gravel and Jeremy Helvig, Norm.
One of them is going to be relied a little more heavily than the other for the next 3 minutes and 27 seconds. And, of course, I'm referring to Alexei Gravel, the goaltender for the UQTR Patriots. And, you know, talk about a big moment. I mean, UQTR converted on the double minor to Dawson Teed early in the first period to give them that 2-1 lead on the goal by David Noel. The opportunity's being served here to the St. Mary's Huskies. You got a fresh sheet ice. the unfortunate part, you've been sitting for the last 15 minutes or so, and we always have that wonder, you know, is it an advantage or is it a disadvantage? We don't know, but we're going to find out here soon enough to see whether the St. Mary's Huskies can convert on an important 3 minutes and 27-second power play.
We are underway here for period number 3. The Patriots, who are leading the game 2-1, will have to kill off the double minor penalty to Mikael Pellerin. The Huskies with possession in their own zone. It's Nathan Dunkley who will start it out up over his own blue line, crosses center, looks to dump it in, but he'll take it in stride. He'll work it around to Jackson Bellamy, half wall, boards far side. Bellamy knocked down there by Cote. Dunkley, puck retrieval in behind the goal, gets it up top to Dunn. Dunn has it hop over his stick. What a good keep there in the backhand to hold that puck in at the line. Dunkley leaves it there for Brady Johnson. Johnson pushes ahead, gets and tries to train into that one. He's knocked down, and Cote will send it the length of the ice. Helvig out with the stick, sets it up for Dunn. 2:32 left to go here in this power play for St. Mary's. Down by a score of 2-1. Look to even things back up here in the power play. Busby drops that one back to McPherson. McPherson to Ralph. Ralph off to Dawson Thied. Tries to feed it back to Ralph driving the goal. He's pushed off. Thied works it back up top. Here's Justin McPherson. Tries to send one across. Frenette gets his shin pad in the lane. McPherson across to Busby. Busby back to McPherson. They play pitch and catch up top. Here's Ralph towards the goal over the stick of Coxhead. Here's Busby. Tries to go down low to Coxhead. He didn't see that one coming. Lepage comes in with the lumberjack chop. It gets outside the blue line in the second attempt, and Helvig will have to come up and stop that one up.
Oh, good job by Jordan Lepage to read it there. He sensed it coming in, took a whack at it, was able to get up all over the stick of McPherson, but effective job here by the Patriots so far in this first 2 minutes of this power play.
1:34 left to go here in the man advantage for the Huskies. It's Garneau. He got the goal scoring started for the Patriot 29 seconds into period number 2 in the forecheck. Johnson comes out of the fray with the puck on his stick. Gets it. He'll skate into it, skate away from Garneau, and he'll wind those boots up like he's done many a times at this Eastlink Center. Take it over the blue line, drop one off to Dunkley. Dunkley tries to make a pass, and Garneau off the skate to stick and down into the Husky zone.
One thing Marc-Etienne Hubert is confident in, he's got a deep talent pool to choose from in the penalty kill, and they've been doing an effective job here so far. You see him interchanging the forwards, not getting caught out there with any extended shifts. Good job here by the Patriots so far.
Bellamy up top. He'll get it back from Dunn. Bellamy will fire, kicked away by Gravel. Getson was down in front, comes back to Dunn, to Bellamy. Bellamy from the circle, he'll fire one in, kick the side. And we know they like to funnel that. That's a new look where they get it to Bellamy in the second half of the season, and he tries to get that shot away.
Well, and obviously he didn't. He wasn't able to do that. They were trying to get it there at the last minute, but all he could get was a kind of an off-footed wrister on it. But that's certainly been a weapon that has been effective for the St. Mary's Huskies. See if they can exploit it here a little later on.
Busby tried to make the pass across, and Teed was offside. 16:48 left to go here in period number 3. 15 seconds on that double minor man advantage for the Huskies.
Well, if you're looking to generate momentum, you have to be, if you're Marc-Etienne Hubert, you have to be very happy with the performance of his penalty killing unit coming out here. They really Huskies haven't been able to generate any significant chances coming forth, and it's a very effective job here by the Patriot on this one.
Around there by Noel, and it's kept in. Here's Thied with the penalty expiring, tries to come to the top and let one go. That one off a stick, up and at a play, and we're back to 5-a-side hockey.
First, Marc-Etienne Hubert over there giving the round of applause for his penalty killers coming on, as that's going to terminate it right there. Have to be very pleased with the collective effort of everybody. Jordan Lepage, Connor Frenette, Felix Lauzon. They all got it done when they had to. It's a big kill there for the Patriots.
Face off down to the right of Gravel. Hampton will win it back to McPherson. Here's McPherson walking the line. He'll fire one in. Hampton got a tip on it. It's off the black dasher and up high. Down low, trying to kick that loose is King, he'll get it. McPherson will step in and win another shot blocked. And LaFrance gets it off the boards from Boucher, tries to drop one back. Van Loon will leave it there for McPherson. Justin McPherson winds it up, gets it over to King. King up over the line. Tries to make a play with he's forced off that puck, and Tessier will skate into it for the Patriot. Tessier to LaFrance. LaFrance with Boucher driving the net. He'll go back to Tessier, tries to fire one, and McPherson sacrifices the body in front of that one. Here's Van Loon to King. King up over the blue line, trying to push here for the Huskies. He'll spin away, get it to Olsen, trying to get it to Olsen just underneath his stick, and here's a 3-on-1 opportunity back the other way. Martin passes it across, dragging, holding, firing in front. A good whack at it there. Milo Ouellette got the best opportunity on that 3-on-1 rush, but Jeremy Helvig there to close the door.
Connor Olsen get caught in. They get caught in the offensive chance. He jumped in the play. The puck turned back over the other way. Martin did the right thing. Cross-ice pass. Look at that backdoor pass over committal by Sam Dunn. Sprawled eagle, spread eagle, and look who's back to save the day. Connor Olsen. He jumped in on the play to try and make some offense, recognizing that his defensive partner was going to be in trouble. Came back. That's a second big play there for Connor Olsen in this game. Had one earlier in the first period on that backdoor pass. Same sort of thing, right? So credit him for coming back, keeping this a one-goal game. Talk about you're coming back after not getting any rewards on your 3 minutes and 27 seconds of power play, and then you come back and you get scored on. That would have been a huge goal for UQTR.
Just a 20-year-old too, Norm. Connor Olsen could be playing in the Quebec Major Junior Hockey League. So, big minutes for a guy that, could still be playing Major Junior here, and he's held his team, helped his team out.
Well, him and Sam Dunn are a solid pair. I mean, they're not flashy, but they get it done. Of course, Sam Dunn had an interesting career himself. As we watch the play, I'll follow that up in a minute.
Centered in front, a whack at it. Lepage will turn and fire, and that one's off a body in front. Back up top of the circle, working it around. Lauzon plays it rink wide. That one off the backboards in front. Helvig gets a stick on it and plays it away. Lauzon rims it on around Levine. Can't pick it up there in the corner. Lepage tries to make a play. Dunkley closes in on him, and here's a play from behind the goal. Cutting to the goal was Lauzon. Works it back up top. Here's Pellerin. Pellerin finds one in the blue paint. Saving the day. Nathan Dunkley swoops that one away in front of the goal. Here's Levine now. UQTR. Lauzon fires, blocked off a shin pad up into the protective meshing. Wow, Nathan Dunkley, we talked about it. He's doing it at both ends here tonight.
Well, look, it is. I mean, he recognized, there he is, recognizing that it was an open cage for Felix Lauzon, the old OT hero in the Game 3 the championship win for UQTR over Windsor. And Nathan Dunkley getting it done on the offensive side with that first goal of St. Mary's. You talk about a bigger play. Which is a bigger play? That one right there, I can tell you that.
Face-off controlled, and Boivin will fire it in. It's sticked away by Helvig. Another puck towards the goal, just thrown on net. Looks like it was tipped in front by Felix Lafrance, and the Patriots take a 2-goal lead. Wow.
Felix Lafrance just did what he had to do. Kind of similar to the first goal here, where you had Garneau getting the tip and the deflection from Justin Bergeron. Wobbly puck going in. Wow, what great eye-hand coordination by Felix Lafrance coming in. Wobbly puck once again, much like the shot from Keith Getson that Nathan Dunkley tipped there. Look at the knuckle puck going in. Man, how do you defend that?
Down underneath through the 5-hole.
Yeah, Helvig looking at that. Said, geez, how am I supposed to stop that? No chance. Great play by Felix Lafrance. Man. Great hand-eye coordination. Big goal.
His brother Simon's had a couple of big goals in Patriot history, and now Felix wants to get in the fray as he puts his team up by 2.
Yep. Anything you can do, I can do better.
There's L'Italien. Just inside his blue line, tries to play it up. Cote, a second and third whack at it, can't get it by McPherson, and Bergeron will poke that one ahead and closed off at the boards. The Patriot in the zone. Here's Cote again. Loses that one to McPherson, and Justin McPherson will wind it up out of the reach of Liam Van Loon. Boucher works it back through the legs of Pellerin. Gravel out with the stick. He'll backhand it back to Mikael Pellerin. Pellerin airs one out of the reach of Boucher. McPherson plays it back. It's right at center ice, and it's played in by Levine. McPherson finds Getson as he was calling for that puck. He'll make a play out of the behind Dunkley, and we'll get a whistle.
Just going back to my Sam Dunn comment earlier there, Bo, you know, you look at him and Connor Olsen, bit of the odd couple in the sense of their treks here to the AUS level. Of course, Sam Dunn playing 3 years in Coburg and then goes and plays a couple of years in the Q as an 18 or 19 or 20-year-old. It doesn't happen very often. Connor Olsen, for his part, coming in playing at the AUS as a 20-year-old, that doesn't happen every day either. So both of them have been big pieces here for Tyler Nagel's team and have created their own path to this level.
Here's Getson saucing one towards the goal, and Gravel got there with the glove to take the whistle.
That's what you want to do. Nathan Dunkley drive hard to the net. Keith Getson just sort of going through, buy some time, get to that open space, head up the whole way, backpedaling. Nice saucer pass over. A little too hard for Dunkley to handle, but not that easy for Alexi Gravel to handle either. So, but again, you know, there's St. Mary's doing what that's their strategy. Just throw pucks at the net. Let's see if we can cash in some way and see if they can make it happen. Unfortunately, it didn't work for them in that particular instance.
Getson can't win the face-off, and Lepage gets it as far as the line. Dunn steps up, tries to keep that puck alive. It'll drift through the neutral zone. Here's Garneau with Lepage driving the net. Garneau watched by Getson, tries to turn and back that backhand pass out into the center of the ice. It's picked off, but Lepage keeps it in. Dunkley after his stick. Lepage knocked down from behind. Olsen puts it in behind the goal, out of the reach of Dunn, and it'll come to Thede. Thede can't control it. Here's Bergeron again. Goes down low, tries to get it back as he's streaking towards the net. Down in behind the goal, Helvig will stop it up for Olsen. Olsen pressured there by two Patriot forward, and it'll come to Boivin. Boivin will fire one far side off the yellow kick pipe. Pellerin off the bench, tried to step into a blast off the boards. Coxhead floated one through the middle out of the reach of Johnson. Here's Boivin again. He'll play it in. Coxhead closes off on him, and it's going towards the goal. Italian, a second attempt at that puck as he tried to get it from skate to stick as he was driving the goal. Boivin will play it in behind. LaFrance towards the goal, and Helvig will make the save.
Well, we're seeing here stick saves can come up and they can be done at important times here, but almost a fumble there as it got in the feet of Sam Dunn. Samuel L'Italien stuck with it at the last minute, and he got the stick on it. He's going towards that far corner, but Helvig managed to turn that one aside, and again, you get that 4-1, 11:39 to go. You can pretty much turn those lights off.
McPherson tries to rim it on around, and Milo Ouellette will pick it off, play it down near side corner boards. Here's King off the pass of Van Loon. King up over the line. Driving the goal, he'll put it on and will roll the half wall. King comes back to Bellamy. Bellamy cross ice. McPherson will fire, and Milo Ouellette will step in front of that puck. Van Loon in behind the goal, stick lifted by Noel. It'll come back up top. Here's McPherson. Justin McPherson gets it to Hampton. Hampton from the near side corner board, cycles it down low. Liam Van Loon will pick it up. Van Loon again, he'll cycle it back around. It'll come to McPherson. McPherson will backhand one into Jonathan Hampton. Hampton tries to leave it there for King, but it's Alas who will read that play, get it as far as the Patriot blue line. Little fray there in front of the Patriot bench.
Patriot doing a really good job in their rotations there, Bo, and St. Mary's is looking to get the cycle, and UQTR, for their part, did not allow themselves to get sucked in or get themselves out of position. UPI, they kept them on the outside. They kept St. Mary's out to the outside. Very effective job there in keeping that structure at this late juncture in the game.
So we're in the third period of this first quarterfinal matchup. We'll get the second quarterfinal matchup here at 7 o'clock Atlantic time as the AUS champion UNB Reds host the OUA consolation winner, the Concordia Stingers, here at 7 o'clock. Going to shape up to be another dandy matchup.
Well, we've got 3 OUA teams and 3 AUS teams in this tournament. We're seeing 2 of them here today in the Huskies and the Patriots. We're going to get 2 more tonight in the Reds and the Concordia Stingers. Of course, the OUA with the East and West divisions, kind of a bit of an anomaly in the U Sport world, but you know, we're Canada West is 1, AUS is 1. That OUA, of course, with so many teams, they're divided up East and West, and we've got the OUA East champion here. We'll see the OUA West champion tomorrow with the Windsor Lancers as they take on the perennial powerhouse University of Alberta Golden Bears.
Gateson gets it, won the face-off, but here comes Boucher pushing it forward for the Patriot. He tries to drop one off, it's picked off, and Johnson will send it rink wide. Here's Dunkley up over the blue line for the Huskies. Nathan Dunkley tried to flush one in as Bubsy was pushing towards the goal from the back end, stepping up in neutral zone. Dunn sends it in, he's pushed into the Patriot board bench. Dunkley, stick lift, Tessier gets it to Johnson, fires one, tried to go glove side on Gravel. He'll hold on and take the whistle.
Well, there's a good chance just coming back here with St. Mary's. They tried to establish something earlier. Dunkley managed to win that battle in the corner against Julien Tessier. Keith Getson, quick pass to Brady Johnson, does the right thing, tried to go short side and Alexi Gravel. However, the big fellow was having none of that.
Face off down to the right here of Gravel. Tied up, Coxhead gets it to Ralph. Ralph driving the goal into blue pink and a backhander away, and Gravel tracked it all the way, sliding across to make the save. Push forward. Levine knocked off, Bellamy goes down. Here's Lauzon. Lauzon drops his shoulder, heads in behind the goal. Comes back up top, cross-ice pass to Boivin. Boivin tries to feed it off the backboards, and Jeremy Helvig will cover that one up. 3-1 UQTR Patriot lead here in period number 3. We'll be back after this commercial break.
Some people come to university knowing exactly what they want to do in life. Others come to discover it. Either way, there's a path for them at U Ottawa. A path to knowledge, a path to success. You study with professors who are leaders in their field. 89 of them hold Canada Research Chairs. Along your path, you will find student mentors, counselors, and coaches. All there to give you the support you need to be the best you can be.
Hey, U Sports fans, check out shop.usports.ca for this week's promotional item from the Nike Team collection. Visitez le shop.usport.ca pour en profiter de la promotion de la semaine de la collection Nike Team.
They don't do it for the likes or for the shares. They do it for the fun of it, for the thrill, for the camaraderie, for the memories. CBC Sports, just because they love it.
3-1 here with 25 seconds left to go here in this stoppage. And Felix Lafrance, the former Bathurst Titan, and the 22-23 all-rookie team for the OUA East. What a tip redirection in front, showing off that hand-eye skill, Norm.
Well, we're seeing a couple of beauties there. I mean, even you go back to Nathan Dunkley's first goal there for St. Mary's, but I think that one was even better just because of the knuckle effect that was going on and the short distance that it traveled. But talk about a big goal. I mean, Simon Lafrance's brother didn't score many bigger than the overtime win last year against U of A. His brother just got something done here in this game to make a real impact for the UQTR Patriot in this game.
There's 9:39 left to go here in the third period. The entire game, Norman, the first period, we've seen that TV timeout really elevate the play of the UQTR Patriot. The second TV timeout, we've seen the St. Mary's Huskies really elevate their play. We're going to see what's going to happen here.
Well, all I know is one thing, Bo. Both of these teams are battle-tested. There's 9:39 left in this game, and anything can happen with these two teams. And it's going to be, there's still a lot to be decided, and we'll see where we go.
Quick wrap attempt there that's kicked away, and here's King up over the line with Van Loon and Hampton. King plays it down into the corner. Van Loon goes after it on the attack. He's closed off there by Noel and Bergeron. McPherson keeps it alive for the Huskies inside the zone, tries to play it off to Van Loon. He'll get it down to King. King on the forecheck. That puck will just come back out into the neutral zone. So the Patriot trying to defend that 2-goal lead that some would say the worst lead in hockey. Some others would say it's good to have the lead, Norm.
The eternal debate, though.
There's Johnson up over the line, can't get it kicked forward for the Huskies. Backhanded towards the goal, and Helvig there to make the save on Levine. So we talked about this being the first game. Of course, we'll get Concordia and UNB, but this event, Norman, this is the bracket to the final, but we're setting ourselves up. If this is game one, I can't wait to see what's in store for the rest of the weekend. I
think the big challenge is going to be, the big test is going to be your voice, buddy. How's it going to hold up through these 8 exciting games? Because you're going to be exercising it a lot. I mean, the first game has been great here. It's been a real, turning into a bit of a chess match right now as, you know, UQTR is looking to tie it down here. But, you know, you talk to any of the coaches, they say this might be one of the strongest fields in terms of parity with all the teams that are involved in this tournament. And I mean, not to give any kind of disrespect to any of the previous tournaments, but this field here is very, very strong.
Gets it. Backhands that one in, and Gravel will stop that puck with his stick, leave it for Boivin. He'll rim it around. It'll come to Flower at the blue line. Flower will fire one in. That hits a body in front, and Johnson tries to take a whack at it. Rimmed on around there by LaFrance, and that one will come out, and Flower will chase it back. One interesting thing that I think about that, Norman, a strong field is we have a number of players here. Last year was their first year. They're 99 borns with that COVID year where they missed. Yeah. Now they're second-year guys. They're that much stronger and bigger, but they're technically third-year guys.
Well, and you take a year of practicing with these guys and this capability and that quality on a regular basis. You know, we've seen what it's done to some of the UPI players over the course of time. That just spreads itself right across the country.
There's a shot from Dunkley from the corner that's blocked away as he was taken down to the ice. Here's Cote working on McPherson back into the Husky zone. Justin McPherson closed off there by Louis-Philippe Cote. Battling for that puck. Cote pushes it out, and Busby, though, for the Huskies. He'll come out with it. He'll float one up to Cedric Ralph. Ralph up over the line. He'll leave it there. Busby plays it down to Bishop. Centering pass in front. Ralph trying to go from skate to stick. Tries to backhand one in front, and it's swooped in, and Levine will take it up over center. Sticked away by Bellamy. Here's Busby again. Will play it down in. Here's Ralph taken down on the half-wall boards. Up over the line, it's backhanded in by Garneau, and Helvig will stop it up. He'll rim that puck around. It's stopped at the half-wall boards. Hampton comes in to try and push it out the rest of the way. Lozon will play it down. Bellamy to Bishop. Bishop off to Dunn. Dunn will play it in near side corner boards, and Boivin will handle it there for the Patriot. Watched by Thede. Rimmed around, and King tries to center one in front for the Huskies. He'll battle for it down in the corner. Thede takes it in behind the goal. Centers out in front. Jonathan Hampton with a great opportunity on his stick, but Alexei Gravel's able to make the save.
I tell you what, Bull, I've been very impressed with Sam King's game here today. The former Charlottetown Islander, Edmonton Blizzard. You know, he's been battling hard and getting that puck in deep. You talk about it's a cliche, of course, but you get the big body out behind the net, Dawson Thede, throws it out to another big body, and Jonathan Hampton does the right thing, gets the one-turner going on it there, as you see Tyler Nagel discussing what he's liking and what he's not liking about his team here in the last minute. He has to like that shift right there.
Up over the line, LaFrance will play it in on Helvig. Helvig will cover that one up and grab a whistle with 6:01 left to go here in the third period.
When you're looking at this here, you know, you get 6 minutes left to go, Bo, and, you know, Tyler Nagel's trying to sit there. What am I going to do to be able to get that first goal in order to get that second one? But it's going to be a lot of case of bench management, making sure you're not getting caught out on extended shifts. Marc-Etienne Hubert, for his part, is going to make sure that he's rolling these guys so he gets his guys in the right situations. Don't get caught in a face-off scenario where you're going to be outmanned. Make sure you got those guys that are going to provide the good backup as well, too. So You know, it's going to be a little bit of strategy making, a little bit of line matching, and of course effective bench management on both parts here in this remaining 5 minutes and 55 seconds.
Lepage will play it down and in, and McPherson will get it up to Keith Getson. Getson, the captain for this Huskies team, tries to play it in. Bergeron quickly turns it back. It's right on the stick of Getson. Getson will play it far side, and Flower took a whiff at it there and allows the Patriot. Lepage will play it in, and Frenette will go after it. Frenette underneath the goal line, in behind Jeremy Helvig. Knocks Flower down, dishes one off, and it'll come back up top. Boivin plays it back down low. Tessier, worked there by McPherson. Those two are all tied up, skating into the corner boards. McPherson battling it again. Comes out loose, quick shot, and Lafrance is stopped there by Jeremy Helvig at the top of the blue paint. Flower will kick it loose and get it off to Keith Getson. Tries to send one across in the paraphernalia of Johnson. Bellamy, second attempt up to Nathan Dunkley. He's 1-on-4 all by himself. Makes a move on Boivin. Dunkley trying to center to Busby. Bishop knocks it down with the glove, turns and fires. Dunkley in behind the goal. Nathan Dunkley tries to center one out. It'll come to Bellamy. He'll turn and fire off a shin pad. Bishop got the puck retrieval. Couldn't get a shot away. Busby plays it down in to the Patriot zone. Felix Boivin lost it through the air. Bellamy knocks it down out of the stick of Bishop, and that one will head for icing. 4:24 left to go here. Don't forget, later on here on CBC and CBC Gem is the second quarterfinal matchup between the UNB Reds and the Concordia Stingers. That's Seed 3, UNB Reds, the AUS champion, and Seed 6, Concordia Stingers.
Seeds. What's the value of them? You know, all I know is there's 8 good seeds in this game. We'll see which one's going to come out as number 1 in the end.
Busby plays it to Coxhead. Coxhead off to Bishop. Bishop couldn't knock that one out of the air, and we'll get another icing call with 4:08 left to go now in the third period.
We saw a minute ago there with Nathan Dunkley trying to get out and make something happen. Almost made Felix Boivin pay for it as he took the outside deke. Those are the sorts of things that you're going to make sure that you're managing. You want to play, if you're a defenseman, you want to be playing with inside the dots. Don't get yourself out in that no man's land that's going to allow for the inside access. That's what happened with Nathan Dunkley there just in that last shift.
Bellamy can't get it out. Levine plays it over to Lozon. He drove towards the goal, didn't have a lane, plays it down into the corner boards, and skating into it, Bishop leaves it for Coxhead. Here's Bellamy. Up over the line, McPherson to Bishop. Here's McPherson, he'll play it across, and Coxhead charges up through the neutral zone. It's pushed back by Tessier. I'll tell you what, Norm, this UQTR team is doing a great job of protecting their own blue line. Wow. It's going to make it real tough for Tyler Nogler to be able to get Jeremy Helvig to the bench. Well, when does he start to think about that?
Well, that's the thing. I mean, there's a couple of situations where you saw the stretch pass trying to be made.
Here's Tessier, he'll fire.
You saw the stretch pass being made there, but great defensive awareness. Felix Lozon recognizing that Cedric Ralph is trying to blow the zone because they're trying to go for the bit of the Hail Mary pass and try and open up that neutral zone. The UQTR, that's where you come back with the heart of the champion, Bo, and that championship pedigree and that understanding of what it takes in order to shut things down. UQTR is in full-blown shutdown mode right now. They really don't care if they get a fourth goal. They're just trying to keep this down on this half of the ice, this 100 feet down here in the St. Mary zone. They'll be happy to play down there. Keep the pucks in the corner like they've been doing here, exchanging the puck, keep it down and be in below the dots. They'd be very happy with doing that for the remainder of this game.
McPherson across to Dunn. Dunn gets it up into the neutral zone. Knocked down with a hand pass. We'll get another whistle with 3:07. I look down to my left here and I see the host UPEI Panthers are down here taking in this game. And you know what? The table set, we talked about tonight's game, tomorrow night's game. This barn may be rocking like it did in, what was it, 1991? They beat Acadia, or they scored against Acadia.
That was 95-96. Johnny Nelson. Yeah, 2 goals in less than, 35, 40 seconds? That old horn that's stuck up here in the middle of these rafters seems to humming. Minute and 35, minute and 40 seconds. Crazy stuff.
There's only 3 minutes left in this one. The St. Mary's Huskies season on the line here, as it's a one and done if you can't win here at this U Cup championship for the men's hockey at the U Sports. It's Johnson up over the line. Tries to play one in through the middle. Dunkley watches as Lozon makes a play. Bergeron gloves it around to Boivin. Helvig wants out of the net. He's tapping his stick. Bellamy fakes his shot, fires one through. Rebound down in front. Gravel able to smother it in front, and Boivin wraps up Dunkley there.
Well, clearly that's what St. Mary's wanted to do. They got the puck back to Jackson Bellamy. He likes to fling her. He did the right thing. He got it on net. Dunkley gets him. Brady Johnson all driving her to the front of the net. They couldn't convert. It's going to take a good one to get it by Gravel here tonight, Bo. He hasn't been exceptional. He's been solid. But
Helvig
doing what and getting the saves made when called upon.
Face-off win. Ralph tries to fire one right off the draw. It's up and over top. Helvig to the bench. Now 6-on-5 attack for the Huskies as Getson joins from the bench. Ralph tries to put one through. Garneau's able to block it, and it's chipped back out. And Sam Dunn back inside the gaping cage here for the Huskies. 2:05 left to go here in the third period. They're trailing 3-1. Coxhead chips it by. Can't get it up to feed at the blue line. Now Ralph pushing it forward. Cedric Ralph tries to make a play to Coxhead. Coxhead has that puck on his stick, and he'll leave it there for Ralph. Gets it battling, and it'll come back up top to Dunn. Here's Dunn, tries to fire. Levine will put his body down in front of that again. It's chipped by, and here's an opportunity with a gaping cage. Levine will grab a stride, force it to the goal, and put it in the back of the net. Zachary Levine, the captain for this UQTR Patriot team, will put this one on ice with 1:34 left to go in the third period.
Now, valiant effort. Puck come up. Sam Dunn tried to corral it at the blue line. Connor Fournette recognizing that he was in a vulnerable position, knowing that he could have had the opportunity to spring it the other way, and that's exactly what he did. UQTR captain goes in. The guy that Marc-Étienne Aubert relies upon for not only his offensive production, but his penalty killing. He kind of does it all. He's a bit of a Swiss Army knife here for Aubert. And he gets it done here to seal this one. Barring a major miracle, the Patriots will be punching their ticket to the semifinal game here on Saturday.
Van Loon will play that puck in. There's Gravel out with the stick. He'll backhand one off to L'Italien. To Lepage. Lepage now over the stick of McPherson, and Van Loon comes back to Bellamy. He'll get it back near side boards and play it in past Lepage. Lepage will play it across, and a stretch pass to Milo Ouellette. Ouellette will play it into the St. Mary's zone, and Bellamy will come back in with 45 seconds left to go here in period number 3. Jackson Bellamy. It's an across to McPherson. McPherson over to Van Loon in the neutral zone. To Hampton now. Jonathan Hampton will send it in, and it's off the back boards, and Martin will play it. Centering pass in front, and Cote will chase it down into the corner. 20 seconds left to go. A centering feed that's knocked away again. McPherson from the blue line down to Hampton. He'll try and center it, and that one's knocked down by Pellerin. Hampton to King. No quit here for the Huskies. Back up top. Bellamy fires through traffic off another shin pad of the UQTR Patriot, and they will regroup in their own end and punch their ticket to the 2023 U Cup semifinals.
Well, the defending national champs came here with one goal: to defend their national title. They are now one step closer to achieving that goal for which they came here to Charlottetown, the birthplace of Canada, to see if they can do some kind of something that doesn't happen a whole lot here, Bo, where, I think it's only happened 10 or 11 times so far, where teams have been able to defend their title. I think UNB was the last one to do it in 2016. They defended their title at UNB. And, we look at this team. This is a team that's going to be positioning themselves well, given the fact that they've been battle tested here in the OUA final. They've got the winning tradition, the winning culture, the winning belief that they have from last year. Is you see these teams going through, and
a lot of teammates too.
Well,
Joel Bishop and Alexei Gravel there, big hug, right?
To say that, right? A lot of guys that have been playing together either in Quebec or Rimouski or Halifax, wherever it may be. And, that's the thing about a lot of these guys. There's no strangers anymore, right? When they're playing in either in the, the development programs like the U17 or the World Juniors or the U18, whatever it might be. But, their thing is, it's two teams that played hard here today. And, of course, a couple of these guys, you get Justin McPherson, Simon Lafrance, Justin Bergeron. These guys would have played together in that Fichu team, right? That would have won as well, too. So all kinds of connections going on with these guys. But they're playing hard, and here they are. Zachary Levine, he played in that Fichu team as well, too. Just looking at him going through the lineup with Matty Welsh. And so, a lot of guys had healthy respect for one another, that they'll play hard, but at the end of the day, and this was a well-officiated game too, but we have to give props to excuse me, Langin and Mike Langin and Tanner Duran. They did a great job in this game. So
both teams on the blue lines here for the Nike Players of the Game. Pierre Arsenault down at the ice level here to make the presentations. The first one from the St. Mary's Huskies is number 65, Justin McPherson, a member of that Fichu Gold team, and AUS first team All-Star 2 times. He was an all-rookie player last year, and he's been a stalemate in the back end for the St. Mary's Huskies.
Yeah, the kind of guy you can really build around.
Well, there he is. He started the game with a visor. He'll finish it with the fishbowl. Justin Bergeron, a former Memorial Cup and Quebec Major Junior Hockey League champion, the defenseman of the year in the OUA is Bergeron, and he had himself a whale of a game with 2 assists.
Of course, for the Island Connection, he was a partner with Noah Dobson on that team and played with Noah. And, of course, we all know what Noah has done with his career and going on. And Justin Bergeron was doing the same thing here with UQTR. He's becoming a very prominent player for them, leading this team as the Patriot fan below us here are feeling the love of the boys in orange, white, and green as they make their way off the ice, knowing that they're going to be playing for the fans once more. But here's the way it got going early on. It was this is the goal that got UQTR going. Olivier Garneau. Beautiful deflection from Justin Bergeron. And then great puck movement here between Fournette. Great exchange that happened from high to low, down to l'Italien. Corrals it, gets it back to Fournette. He's going to throw it cross ice, rips a pass. Look at that quick pass right over to David Noel. He lets her go. That was the big determining factor right there to get UQTR going. And then this beauty coming here from Simon Lafrance too. That sealed the deal. And then, of course, the empty net goal from Zachary Levine coming by as well, too. But that was the difference one right there as well, too. And full marks to UQTR for getting the victory the way they did.
Simon Lafrance will join us now for his post-game interview.
Et le voilà, Félix Lafrance, qui est au niveau de la patinoire présentement. Félix, premièrement, félicitations. Ça a été tout un match pour vous. Vous avez commencé, il semblait avoir un peu de nervosité au courant de la première période. Qu'est-ce que ça vous a pris pour vraiment vous remettre dans ce match?
C'est sûr que le début de période en deuxième avec un gros but, ça a fait une grosse différence. On savait qu'on était capable de battre cette équipe-là si on jouait à 100%. En forecheckant leurs défenseurs, ça nous a beaucoup aidé. Fait que je te dirais que le point tournage, c'est le premier but de la game là, de notre bord.
Et pour toi, Félix, tu arrives ici à première année à l'UQTR et déjà tu fais une contribution et tu en as fait une dans le match d'aujourd'hui, justement. Qu'est-ce que ça signifie pour toi de pouvoir arriver à ta première année et déjà pouvoir contribuer à l'équipe?
Bien, c'est sûr que c'est le fun. Les gars, l'année passée, ils ont gagné. Fait que c'est ça notre but cette année, c'est de répéter. Mais il y a des joueurs qu'on a perdu. Fait que moi, je m'intègre dans la gang. Puis je donne mon 100%. J'essaie de contribuer le mieux possible. Puis ça a payé aujourd'hui.
Et après le match d'aujourd'hui, est-ce que tu crois qu'on a des ajustements à faire du côté de l'UQTR pour les prochains matchs de ce championnat?
Bien, c'est sûr que les games vont être de plus en plus durs. On va avoir un gros duel en demi-finale. On ne sait pas contre qui encore. Fait que toujours être prêt, avoir peut-être un meilleur début de game, puis ça va payer.
Félix Lafrance, merci beaucoup. On apprécie ton temps et bonne chance pour la reste du tournoi.
Merci beaucoup.
So there we have Félix Lafrance talking about, once again, Pierre was asking him about the little nervous start that they had, but they got it going here and were able to bring it back. And he was asking about his contribution being a first-year player. And, he feels that they lost some key players last year, but he was able to come in, give it about 100%, integrate himself into this championship team, and he feels that he's making that adjustment. And speaking about adjustment, he says for tomorrow's game and that semifinal, they got to be starting and getting off to a quicker start.
So the UQTR Patriots found themselves down by 1, come back and win this hockey game 4-1 to punch their ticket to the semifinals. 7 p.m. Atlantic time tonight. We have the Concordia Stingers playing off against the UNB Reds. See you later tonight.
U Sports on CBC. Les championnats U-Sport. Brought to you in part by. Vous êtes présenté par Nike Team Just Do It. Faites-le. Barron, exclusive supplier of U-Sports championship rings. Le fournisseur exclusif des bagues de championnat U-Sport. Fox 40, celebrating a decade of the Fox 40 U-Sports Coach of the Year program. Fier partenaire des prix de l'entraîneur de l'année U-Sport depuis 10 ans. By Veriburn, proud medical supplier to university sports since 1979. Fier partenaire du sport universitaire depuis 1979. The Government of Canada. Le gouvernement du Canada. And by Cavendish Farms. Enjoy the game day taste at home with Cavendish Farms. Profitez des saveurs de jour de match chez vous avec les frites Les Fermes Cavendish.